It's time to wake up. Kincade and Salciunas is on the air. Broadcasting live on the Fanatic app and YouTube channel. Here are your hosts, John Kincade and Andrew Salciunas. 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
That is indeed us, your hosts, Andrew Salciunas. To my left, John Kincade. And today we get to come in happy, which is nice.
That's nice to have.
Especially after yesterday with the Jaylen Hurts story. It was a lot. Even though there are some people saying, well, this is nothing new. There have been rumors about this all the time. Well, there's a lot more people that spoke about it, and we still don't understand that people aren't going to put their name on the record. This story isn't real because there's no real names attached to it.
I don't understand. Can I ask this, because this is honestly, and I looked at my timeline yesterday, this is your generation. It's your generation. I'm looking at the people that are saying it. It's young people.
They don't understand journalism.
Younger people that do not understand journalism. So I'm trying to figure it out.
We don't read newspapers, Johnny. We read 280
What don't you understand about it? If I don't see any names on these. What do people not understand about sources?
Well, in your time of growing up with journalism, you didn't have to worry about getting NBA centled. You didn't have to worry about AI videos on everything.
Okay, well, Tim McManus we know is real.
I know, but this is just how people
met that
could.
Man.
Yeah,
but we know these things are real. We don't if it was Connor, if it was a website that had this story, if it wasn't ESPN,
DoveKleiman.com
with Tim McManus and Jeremy Fowler.
I know that, but there are a lot of people now that have grown up in the age where you can't trust what you see.
Well, then it takes 2 seconds to verify that they can go, oh, it's Tim McManus and it's Jeremy Fowler. Then at that point, you're just being dopey.
Look, not everybody has the prestigious journalism degree from Temple University.
That is the truth.
Not everybody has that. Some of us around
some
here.
Are D3.
Some of us around
D3.
here do. But don't worry, today is not going to be 4 hours on Jaylen. Maybe just 3. But
2
we're
hours, 48 minutes.
And we're going to start with last night, because last night was a good night. Yesterday afternoon and last night for Philadelphia sports. We'll start on the diamond because they played first. Johnny, the Phillies. It was
unlikely.
It was very uncomfortable.
No, but that was an unlikely comeback. I absolutely thought that game was over, completely over in the 8th inning.
They're down 5-1.
I thought it was over.
And before even that happens, Christopher Sanchez danced his way to 5 1/3. Like, he was not ace Christopher Sanchez, nothing to worry about, but
didn't look like him.
His line 5 1/3, 4 hits, 4 walks, which is very uncharacteristic. 7 strikeouts, but somehow only 1 earned run because he kept on getting out of everything, right?
Yes,
and so the Phillies are tied 1-1 through 5 1/3 innings, and then Jonathan Bolin comes in. He allows an earned run. Brad Keller allows 3 earned runs, man.
I couldn't believe it because I went back to a text that I received from a Major League player who told me, you're going to love Brad Keller because he's going to kill a lot of worms. He's going to kill every worm in Citizens Bank Park.
Yeah, I mean, his first 2 outings were good. It was
but the thing is, I didn't expect that.
Yeah,
I wasn't expecting
hopefully that's the worst of it all season long. But then you're down 5-1, and you're starting to look around. You're going, oh, that's right. The offense isn't offensing. Like, they're not doing anything. Again, this is another night of the offense not doing anything. And the Phillies win the other day with Andrew Painter on the mound. They only scored 3 runs. So everybody in the world is saying there is no way that they score 6 runs. There's no way. This offense is dead. No way they score 6 runs.
I absolutely thought there was no way they were coming back.
And then they woke up. And so what we have for you, as we said to you the other day, with the that guy, the statue out in left field that the Phillies decided to no longer honor with Harry the K's, and now they have the Ghost Deck Energy Tavern, whatever the hell it's called. This is the official High Hope show in Philadelphia. So, Connor, without further ado, let's hear how the Phillies came back and beat the Nationals last night at extra 6-5.
When you are down, lift your head off the ground. There's a lot to be learned, so look around.
Phillies trailing 5-1 as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. JT has been hit by a pitch. He's walked. That one's hit well out toward left center field. Going back is Young. It is gone. Home run for JT. That one's hit well out toward right center field. It is gone. Home run, Bryce Harper. First rest of the year. It's a 5-3 game. Inside ball 4 to load him up. And Edmundo is scheduled to bat. And what has been a stagnant offense this homestand for the Phils, they've climbed back to within 2. No balls and 2 strikes. Line drive, base hit into left field. 1 run is in. Here comes more. The throw to the plate sails over the head of the catcher. The Phillies have tied it up. Abrams is homer today. He's got a 3-run home run. Line drive, caught by Edmundo, and he doubles up the base runner at second. It's Edmundo's world, and we are just living in it. Hit sharply, base hit into right center field. The Phillies have come all the way back, and they have won it on the first career walk-off base hit for Justin Crawford.
Up there goes
Dude,
another
Justin Crawford. We love you, Howie.
Thank you.
Dude, Justin.
He's not that guy to us.
Yeah, no, he's Howard Callis, man. He's Harry the K. Justin Crawford, what a great start to a major league career. .412 his batting average is. He gets his first RBI yesterday, and no better time for it. The game-winning hit for the Phillies yesterday to take 2 of 3 against the Nationals. They start the season now 3-3. Thank God he had that day off the other day, because if he did not have that day off the other day,
it's amazing.
Justin Crawford does not go 3 for 5 yesterday. His body was fresh.
Yeah, your best hitter in your lineup, by the way. Glad he had that extra day off. He really needed it, and he really struggles with those lefties. Oh, wait a minute, he doesn't. But, hey, it was nice. It was nice. I'm so excited for that young man to have that moment, too. That's a great moment to check off the list.
Absolutely. And you know what's amazing? And I'm not there yet. All right, give it a couple more weeks. Could he eventually move up to the top?
I'm not touching him.
The reason why I ask.
Well, you say eventually. Of course he can.
Could he be, well, I'm saying this year. Could he be leadoff, drop trade at 2, then you do your Harper Schwarber 3-4.
Yes.
Adalis is 5.
Yes.
Now all of a sudden that top half of the order is pretty good, but I get what you're saying. You like where he's at right now.
Connor, I agree with you, though. Not now.
Not right now.
Yeah, we are baseball eons away from that move being made.
Yeah,
that's something
6 games.
You think about that in late June, early July, if you have stuff go that way and Trey's struggling and you move him up. But right now, you don't touch the kid. You let him be red hot in the 9-hole.
Yeah, I'm totally fine with it right now. I'm just wondering, like, at some point,
you absolutely will.
Could you move him up? You want your best hitters to get as many at bats as possible. That's why Kyle Schwarber batted lead off for a couple of years, right? We needed the best player to get a couple more at bats. If Crawford's getting on base, you know what speed does at the top of the order, especially with your best hitters. Now, he's batting 9th, so if he gets on base, your best hitters are coming up anyway. I get that. But I just wonder if that's a possibility.
No, that is absolutely a possibility. Why not?
And the other good thing that you heard in those highlights there, JT Realmuto hits a home run yesterday, and he gets on base 3 times, which is good. Like, you need JT Realmuto. Shout out to NBC Sports Philadelphia for all the highlights there. JT Realmuto, you're just hoping for some sort of production. All right, I don't need him to get on three bases every single day, but, like, I need him to not be a 0 at the plate, which through the first 5 games of the season, he was a 0.
He's a 0. He's occasionally he's gonna walk into something, but that's it.
I'm not gonna diminish what he did yesterday.
No, it's fine.
I mean, look, he had a good game. He had a good game. I'm not going to diminish it.
Okay, but I'm not going to count on anything being more than it's a blip on the radar.
Well, he had a really hot stretch for a pretty sizable period of the season last year, and he started really slow. Let's wait and see what happens.
I just hope he is not a 0. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, can he be a 230, 240 hitter?
Sure, he could be a 230.
I hope so.
230?
You won the World Series with Carlos Ruiz batting like 208.
It is horrendous if you're counting on him to be a 230. Though.
Problem is he's a 3 for 45 guy.
And yeah, exactly. You paid him top of the market. And he's not even top of the market anymore. He's not even in the defensive metrics top of the market right now. I mean, that's the problem. It's bad. It's a bad contract, but hey, it happens.
It was a good game for him yesterday.
Good game for him yesterday, yes.
And how about Bryce Harper, finally? Not that he had the overall great game. He still went 1 for 5, but that one was a big one because it also got things going for the Phillies when they were trailing 5-1. He sort of got that. Well, JT hits the home run, then Bryce hits the home run, which keeps it going a little bit. So good to see Bryce Harper finally. It was a shot. It was a good swing. You hope that swing is what propels him forward. Because the last 2 games ago, we talked about the big, quote-unquote, game-winning RBI. It was a horrific swing. The fact that he connected that way, you hope that's the beginning of something for Bryce
That'd be
Harper.
great if it was.
Yeah.
That'd be great if it was. I'm not going to hold my breath, but it might be.
Connor, what's the record when it's at least 70 degrees?
They are undefeated in above 70-degree weather. I hope it's hot in Colorado this weekend.
It's hitting season, man. Hitting season in the 3 games they've won, not hitting season in the 3 games they lost.
I don't know what's going to be in Colorado. I know my daughter said last night it was like 80 the other day in Utah, and then she goes, it's going to snow tomorrow.
Oh, that's good.
So I have no idea what it's going to be like in Colorado, but hopefully we get some warm weather for the Phils.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Early look at the forecast. Mid 50s,
That's
low
not
60s.
bad. That's great.
Nah, they're going to get swept.
Yeah, it probably will be. All right, my question for the Phillies. Can we hit the reset button?
What do you mean?
Can a lot of the Phillies fans hit the reset button? Like, you know how this goes. They lose a game. The Wake Me Up When October crowd comes, all of a sudden cares. They win a game. The Wake Me Up When October come crowds, they say Wake Me Up When October comes. They're 3-3. All right? We're 6 games in. They are even. 3 wins, 3 losses.
So what are you asking people to do?
Can we just kind of relax a little bit? A lot of people have been on edge with this Phillies team.
No one's gonna change their DNA. Like they're just not going to. No matter what you plead to them, they're not going to change that DNA.
It's just amazing the amount of tweets I got from innings like 2 through 6 or 7 yesterday, and then innings 7 through 9, my mentions go quiet.
All of a sudden, it goes quiet.
And I like, why?
Because you know the answer to this.
But why?
But you know the answer.
I'm going to steal a line from Jeffrey Lurie. You got to look into your heart, man.
But
Like,
you're
come on.
asking questions you know the answer to. These people are going to question one thing, and then they're going to disappear when things don't go their way. But
their way is winning. Like that, unless you're not a real Phillies fan. Like their way should be winning. That's what goes my way. I'm happy when they win. I'm not happy when they lose.
We've discussed this. You're not going to change them. Their feet are entrenched in the I think that this just sucks and wake me up in October. So they're not going to acknowledge when this team pulls out big wins. Yesterday, I thought that was absolute loss. I couldn't have been more convinced that anything was going to happen yesterday that was a loss. And then it was a win, which is great. That's awesome. You should be happy. It's a baseball season, and you're going to have ups and you're going to have downs, but people don't realize it. They consume it like football.
All right, so there's going to be no reset button for a lot of people?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. Yeah. I mean, Connor, you deal with it on the Locked On Phillies podcast. I mean, I think you know who the consumers of the podcast are.
Yeah, I think the feelings will remain. I think the noise will quiet. Like I think if you were to force somebody to tell you their opinion on this team, it's not going to change over the course of the season. But I think what we've heard through the first homestand is everyone, hey, I'm getting my Phillies voice back out there because they're playing baseball again, and this is why they stink. And now that we're through that roller coaster that ended up being a 500 homestand, it'll quiet down.
Yeah.
But if something happens, the opinions will be the same spot.
I mean, somebody tweeted John and I earlier this week that now the rotation's bad. And I'm like, whoa, hold on a second. And this is before the painter starts. So I'm going, you're telling me Christopher Sanchez, this was before Sanchez's subpar start for his standards yesterday. Sanchez was freaking unbelievable on opening day. Yeah, Luzardo wasn't great. Am I going to think that that's the case moving forward? We'll see. Nola, sure. We all have an opinion on Aaron Nola. Taijuan Walker's not even part of their long-term plans this year. And then Painter has the outing that he has. Like, that should give people confidence. I don't get it, man. I get it. It's a long season. They've disappointed us at the end every single year. But I'm wondering, Johnny, can people hit the reset button? 610-632-0975.
Connors, you're not going to get people to change.
It's just going to be this way all year.
You're especially not going to get people to change 6 games in. But what I'm inspired by is the fact is I love that we have a new storyline like a Crawford.
Yeah.
A new storyline. Something that says to me, it's not exactly like last year.
You know what's nice? That sometimes the fresh, like, new swagger, new excitement to the ballpark could help uplift the team. They could have used that last year.
Yeah, but
Max Kepler was swinging a hot bat.
He needed another 6 months down in the minor leagues. Obviously,
that guy's ready to play, and I love it. And it's great that we can pencil him in every single day at center field. All right, Philly's not the only team in action yesterday, Johnny. The Sixers were in action. Everybody but Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid was ill.
Ill?
He was ill, man. He was out sick.
Ill? Yeah. Missed a video session, eh?
Well, he's probably maybe
he had no problem being on Twitter all day.
Maybe he was too sick to get out of bed. Maybe it was a quiet suspension for a game.
So he's tweeting all day long. But
it was April Fool's, Johnny.
He's great, yeah.
But the Sixers get the win against the Wizards. I had a tinfoil cap theory this morning, Connor. You weren't even in yet. And I wonder, would you have signed up for it if you knew about it? He does not play yesterday against the Wizards. Now, it's easy to know that they won and they destroyed the Wizards. He doesn't play against the Wizards so that he could play the back-to-back. Would you have signed up for it?
Oh, yeah, I signed up for that in a heartbeat. I don't believe it.
Yeah, neither do I, but, a guy can dream,
But
can't
hell
he?
yeah, they're going to beat the Wizards. They beat the Wizards with you and I out there as part of that team.
Part of the idea of a tinfoil cap theory, is you have to be enough of a moron to believe it.
We are.
You have to. So I need you to affix the tinfoil cap on your head.
I just, guy, I'm dreaming. How about that? Instead of the tinfoil cap, is there like a dream cap that I'm wearing? Because I'm dreaming that Joel Embiid plays in both games of the back-to-back because
he can't even make it to a video session.
It's because he was sick, John.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Anyways, Sixers beat the Wizards, and the Sixers get a gift yesterday. The Sacramento Kings on the road, a team that is actively tanking.
They're terrible.
Beats the Toronto Raptors 123-115, which gives the Sixers, as it stands today, the 6th seed in the Eastern Conference. We did not expect that loss at all for Toronto.
No.
Toronto now losers of 2 straight games. Sixers are tied record-wise, but they have the tiebreaker. You brought it up the other day because of the divisional record, in-division record. Sixers well ahead of Toronto. So if there is a tie, there's going to be no coming down to the wire here. The Sixers, if they're tied record-wise, will be ahead of the Raptors in the Eastern Conference. And now you're the 6th seed, which makes this a weekend even more important.
It does. And over the weekend, you get Minnesota and Detroit at home, obviously. And that's not going to be an easy pickings there. While the Raptors are playing at Memphis, one of the worst teams in the league, and then at Boston. So look, you think the Raptors are going to split, right? Thinking the Raptors are going to split.
Yeah, I would think so.
I think it's essential that the Sixers win both. And they got to win both. I just don't. The math really doesn't math, I think, if you don't win both.
It's because their 4-game stretch is really difficult.
Then you got to go to San Antonio and Houston.
Yeah.
And that's nasty.
Yeah, it's a nasty stretch.
Now you get to end with Indiana and Milwaukee which could be wins. But honestly, the Raptors right now, they have a game at Boston and a game at the Knicks. Other than that, they get 2 home games with Miami.
You have the 2 Heat games. Spolstra, hey, we just saw him coach circles around Nick Nurse.
Let's say split with that, right? Split with Miami at home. 2 losses at Boston.
You're saying they're going 3-3 the rest of the way.
Right. So they're 45 wins. You got to get to 46 if you're the Sixers. I think the only way you're getting to 46 is if
they have the tiebreaker.
You have to get to 45.
They have the tiebreaker.
Oh, they get to 40. But yeah, that's true.
That's why last night was so huge for the Raptors losing a game that they were not supposed to lose.
Is Miami going to play if they can't get to the play-in tournament? That's the question. If they have to keep playing to even be in the play-in tournament, then that's the issue. I don't think they can play out.
I'll answer that with something they did earlier this year where they intentionally got their guy fouled, or they fouled to get their guy 83.
So that their guy can get to 83
I think they
points.
might play out the season.
Yeah,
I just wonder if what they're going to do when it comes down to, right now, Miami is not going to miss the playoffs. They're in. They're in the play-in tournament because everybody's eliminated. We already know Miami, the Miami, Orlando, Charlotte, and the Raptors right now, that is your play-in tournament. They're the bottom 4 teams at the moment. And the bottom 3 teams are all tied with 40 wins.
Yeah.
So Miami may not be able to really change their merit. If they can't get a home game.
Just hoping for one out of them.
They may just rest
hoping for one out of them.
Let's go. Please, Miami, don't quit.
Now, here's a Sixers question.
Do not quit.
And we'll spend a little bit more time on this in the next segment, John, because I think this is a conversation that I'm really curious to hear from people on at 610-632-0975. Is there a world where we start to like and have any sort of connection with Paul George? Last night, Paul George, 39 points, 6 of 12 from 3. Since returning from the suspension, 28, 26, 19, 39. Also playing very good defense, grabbing rebounds. 4 steals, 1 steal, 3 steals. Like, this guy's playing really, really, really good basketball. He's a max contract player, and there is zero connection with him because of his own doing.
It's his own doing.
Injury, suspension, not knowing when the NFC Championship game was and wondering why there was a lot of people on Broad Street when he was trying to drive around. Like, it's his own doing. He's never really put himself out there to be a Philadelphian, and I don't think we've ever reached out to try to welcome him to Philadelphia. It's kind of been hard to when he's not been available. But if he continues to play like this, is there a world where we like Paul George?
Yeah, I mean, does Paul George help you win a second-round series? Sure. Absolutely.
Is this one of the strangest relationships with a quote-unquote star?
Well, that's because Paul George made it strange. It's on him. If you have a part-timer's mentality to being a part of this city smells it a mile away.
So coming up next, what is your first thought of Paul George as a Sixer? All right. I'm going to get John's answer, Connor's answer, and I want people to chime in on this one at 610-632-0975. Is there anybody whose first thought of Paul George is like, really like that guy? Great 4-game stretch for him. Need more, especially if Joel Embiid's got like tummy troubles or something.
Oh, yeah.
All right, coming up next, we answer that question, but also we'll update you on everything because Johnny is keeping track of all the hockey scores and the NHL standings. We're making that push for the playoffs, so the update on everything comes right next. Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Phillies walk off Washington. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Phils finished their homestand with a walk-off win over the Nationals, 6-5 in 10 innings. A 9th-inning rally led to a 2-run RBI single for Edmundo Sosa to force extras. Then the rookie, Justin Crawford, ended things with his first career walk-off hit in the bottom of the 10th.
Hit sharply, base hit into right center field. The Phillies have come all the way back, and they have won it on the first career walk-off base hit for Justin Crawford.
That audio quality of NBC, credit to NBC Sports Philadelphia. The Phils are off today. A 3-game series in Colorado with the Rockies starts on Friday. Sixers ran it up on the Wizards last night, 153-131 the final. Paul George had his best individual game as a Sixer, 39 points in the win. They're now tied for the 6th seed with the Toronto Raptors, and they have the tiebreaker. They're off tonight, and they'll host the Timberwolves tomorrow night. A big back-to-back this weekend with Minnesota and Detroit. The Flyers host the Red Wings tonight at 7 p.m. You can hear that game live here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Andrew DeCecco joins us from the 8 o'clock hour till the end of the show. We'll talk more Jaylen Hurts story. And Scott Lauber joins us at 9:05 to react to the Phils homestand. This update is brought to you by Papa John's, introducing new pan pizza from Papa John's. Order a medium one-topping pan pizza, just $11.99 when you download the Papa John's app or at papajohns.com. Better ingredients, better pizza. That's Papa John's. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
Facebook.com/975 The Fanatic Philadelphia. More of Kincade and Salciunas coming your way now.
This hour of Kincade and Salciunas is presented by Bradford White Water Heaters. Bradford White, they're here for the pro.
It is 6:31 here on Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. On this Andrew DeCecco Thursday. Andrew DeCecco will be in studio with us today from 8 to 10. Obviously, we'll get his thoughts on everything that transpired yesterday with the Tim McManus, Jeremy Fowler article dropping on Jaylen Hurts, some of the turmoil last year, the excitement moving forward, because people think we don't point that out, that Jaylen Hurts is apparently excited and open to change. So hopefully that's the case. Andrew will break it down with us. We'll talk draft, you name it, from 8 to 10. But a little Phillies and Sixers to start. Can you hit the reset button on the Phillies? Because there was a lot of doom and gloom when they started the season 1-2. 1-3 they started so bad, and now they're 3-3. And can we ever find a time where we like Paul George? So, John, I asked the question going into the break, and I wanted to get your guys' answer on it. When I say Philadelphia 76er Paul George, what comes to your mind?
The fact that you say Philadelphia 76er Paul George. That's what comes to mind. Nope. I don't think anyone's ever going to say Philadelphia 76er Paul George when they refer to his career.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, when you say that.
Here now.
So, when you say, but the thing is, though, when you say that, it immediately makes me go, yeah, I don't think of Paul George ever as a Sixer. Because I think he's got, like, he went to the place where he got the contract, where he.
Fifth year.
And he went, that was what he wanted, and he's acted like it. He's honestly acted like it. But he's played well the last week, so I'm grateful for that.
Yeah, the last 4 games, like, he looks like a guy that screwed up and is like, all right, I got to change the way people are thinking. I got to change the narrative. Because and look, it's a real narrative.
Sure it is.
Right? To not have a connection with a guy that comes here and disappears in year 1 and then disappears in year 2. And it's a guy that not everybody was totally on board with to begin with.
We honestly tried to talk in a conversation, just a casual, fun conversation. We tried to talk Daryl Morey into not doing it.
And, what do we know? We don't know. As Doc Rivers would say, you don't know basketball.
We don't know basketball. But I mean, we were like, don't do that. And well, what are you going to spend the money on? And Daryl's a good guy. Daryl engages.
I like him.
Daryl engages, and Daryl talks, and everything like that. And he was talking hypothetically about all the players you could potentially talk about in the league and everything like that on a hypothetical basis. But I never wanted it to begin with. I just don't. They kept doubling down on the strategy, and to me, I shouldn't hold that against Paul George, because as a capitalist, I don't blame Paul George.
You would take the money,
I
too.
don't blame Paul George at all.
So, Connor, when I say Philadelphia 76er Paul George, like what's your immediate comes to your what just you vomit out?
He's like a TV stepdad.
Okay, give me one.
It's like,
who's the TV stepdad?
I didn't really want a replacement. I didn't really need you here. I get it. I understand why you are here, but I was never really excited about you being here, and I'm never going to call you dad.
So, Mr. Brady, you're saying?
Right. Like, you're not going to be that to me because of the circumstance of which you're here. But you have a hugely emotional experience, and maybe I'll be like, all right, Pop, like a one-time thing. And that would be a win in the postseason.
Yeah,
be a big part of this team being accomplished.
Where he makes a role.
You're
where
never
he's
going
a
to
big
truly,
part of it.
Yeah, feel like part of this family, to use that term broadly, as like the Sixers.
Sure.
But you are here, and we're going to live with it. And if you got to earn your way, though.
How about this? If he's a big part of them, Connor, getting out of the second round for the first time in 25 years, a quarter of a century.
You'll call him dad?
I'll buy a Paul How about this? I'll buy a Paul George daddy jersey.
Jesus.
Oh, wow. I thought you were just going to say Paul George jersey, and even that, I would have been like, wow, good for you, John.
No,
Paul George daddy. Okay.
Daddy jersey. If he's a big part of it, and they get out of if after a quarter of a century, I finally see this team in a conference finals, Paul George, dude, whatever, sign me up.
I don't even care about the team anymore. I just need to see that jersey.
And it just say daddy on the back?
Daddy, yeah. And Fanatics.
And number 13.
And honestly, Fanatics would probably spell it wrong. But, D-A-D-Y.
They might spell it Diddy for all
It did. Well, then that's a whole nother issue.
All right.
It's a whole nother issue.
All right. You can text in the show, 610-632-0975. By the way, I got to ask Austin to stop doing something. Austin, our fine YouTube producer.
What's Austin doing?
Every once in a while, we have the try box. We have the solo shot.
Okay.
He just had Connor and I alone. And Connor and I looked like we called each other and said, hey, you want a match tomorrow, pal?
Well, Wednesday night was sleepover night, so you guys slept over.
We're both wearing the maroon. You're just wearing the sweatshirt version of my shirt.
No, we did
it's
this.
like the same thing.
Now, remember, you're running into this on Thursday.
I know you.
Last Thursday, you did it to me.
Yeah, we got to cut this
on
out.
A Temple
man.
Day, you wore it. Now, today, I wore Flyers, trying to give the Flyers a little love because tonight is truly, again, we keep saying it, but this is the biggest home game the Flyers have played. Gosh, I can't tell you how long.
All right, can you break it down?
Yes.
Importance, not just important. We get it. They need to win
Easily.
hockey games. But what else are we watching for tonight? Last night, Sixers win. We were keeping an eye on the Raptors, not thinking the Raptors would lose to the Kings. Raptors lose to the Kings. So if you did not follow along yesterday, you wake up this morning, the Sixers are the 6th seed in the Eastern Conference. The Hawks were off yesterday, so they won yesterday, so you're still a game and a half back of Atlanta yesterday. I don't think the 5th seed is going to happen, but you can hold on to the 6th seed. So the Raptors are that team that we're going to keep a very close eye on moving forward for the rest of the season. Obviously, the Sixers on themselves as well. What do we have to pay attention to other than just the Flyers game tonight, John?
Okay, these are some, and this is again. Now, the other day I gave you 4 things that needed to happen, and they all happened. So
it was amazing, except for the Flyers winning. That was the only one that didn't happen.
So we need a few things tonight. We need 3 teams to win for us tonight, and there's 3 teams that we might not actually like. We need Buffalo, Carolina, and Tampa to win. So if we have any hope to catch the Penguins,
some pretty good teams.
If we need any hope to catch the Penguins, Tampa Bay will beat the Penguins tonight in Florida. That can happen. In fact, I'm expecting that to happen.
I mean, we're talking about 3 of the best teams in hockey.
So I'm expecting Tampa to beat the Penguins tonight. So the Flyers could wake up tomorrow morning 4 points behind the Penguins with a game in hand. Okay, for second place. Then we need Carolina to beat the Blue Jackets.
Let's go.
At Carolina in the back-to-back. They already beat them the other night in Columbus. Now Carolina's got to win their home game. They're playing for top seed.
Let's go Canes.
So come on, Canes, take care of business. If the Flyers beat Detroit, which hopefully they will, they win that game, they can find themselves tied with the Columbus Blue Jackets, exact record. Now, Columbus won the season series, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
But it's the 2 teams will be tied with 88 points, so we need Columbus to lose. And last and not least, Buffalo at Ottawa. Buffalo beat Ottawa. That would be great, and I believe Buffalo's going to beat Ottawa for us. So, I mean, I think the trifecta can happen. Can the Flyers beat Detroit?
Dude, today it is a monster game. It's such a shame. Them losing the other night it didn't end the season by any means, but it was such like a damn it. Especially when everything else went their way. You could be talking about the same scenarios where the Flyers would have
trying
sole
to get
possession.
into second. They would have been tonight would have been for sole possession of third.
Right.
And then 2 points out of second.
Yeah. It's a shame they lost that game. But this one's a monster game tonight, and it's going to be
huge.
here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Puck drop, 7 o'clock. Flyers hosting the Red Wings. And, again, here on The Fanatic. So make sure you're listening closely.
Make sure you're listening. It's going to be great. And then tomorrow you'll go to the Islanders. So you win tonight. You'll go to the Islanders tomorrow with a chance to beat the Islanders with a game in hand, a chance to jump the Islanders for third place.
All right, here's another thing
awesome.
to throw out there.
Yeah.
Today melting pot. All right.
Melting pot's a good place.
Throw out there.
Good place.
If you are going to the game today, the Flyers game today, what's that feeling in your gut right now? Have you ever been you're in the car driving to a big game and you're like,
oh yeah,
this is a big game tonight. What's that feeling in your gut right now? Because we haven't been able to have this in a long time. All right. We have not been able to say must-win game for the Flyers in a long time. We've said it a couple of times in the last week and a half because every game has sort of become that. But you win tonight, we're talking about being potentially tied for the final wild card spot. Columbus has the tiebreaker, but in terms of points, they're tied. if you're going to the game tonight, and I know that a lot of people will be there, I would imagine it's a sellout crowd tonight at the Xfinity Mobile Arena.
They've been doing great, yeah. They've been doing great at the gate.
So I know you're going. I know one of you, at least somebody is listening that's going to the Flyers game tonight. What's that feeling in your gut going down tonight, getting ready? Do you have the morning butterflies?
We've already gotten a text on this before you even asked this question.
How about that? Is Ray done with?
Ray done.
Doug from Haddonfield texted in 628. So before you asked this question, said, I haven't been to a Flyers game since the outdoor game at MetLife. Going to the game tonight with my son who just got into hockey. Not a better feeling in the world than your son getting into the sport you love, and thought of playoff hockey coming back to Philly. Let's go Flyers. So very excited.
I love that too.
Dude, that's great. You're going to share a great moment. Yeah, that's fantastic.
I can't wait to think of the days for you to be able to go to a game like tonight with Coop.
Yeah, with urgency, games.
When Coop understands it.
Yeah.
Not when they're like 5 years old, 6 years old, and they're just excited to go to a game. When your kid actually starts to get into like watching the standings and soaking it all in and going, they understand the magnitude of it. That's awesome. Can't wait for that.
All right, we'll check the Davis Honda text line even more coming up next. Phillies, are you going to hit the reset button? It's 6 games into the season. I can't believe we're asking this question.
I can't believe you are either.
Is there a world where we like Paul George? When I say Philadelphia 76er Paul George, your first reaction is what? And if you're going to the Flyers game, do you have the morning of butterflies? 610-632-0975. It's a big game tonight, man. Coming up next, we'll check the Davis Honda text line. Also, Johnny, the Sixers win last night was historic.
Really?
Credit to the Sixers. It's also an embarrassment for some teams in the NBA. It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic.
Guts. Salciunas, Philly Sports Talk, 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
All right, it's 6:47 here on Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. We'll check the Davis Honda text line, also the Iron Mountain Men's Health Dr. Avidan Appel poll coming up in a moment. But last night was historic, Johnny. It's also embarrassing for the NBA. But Reuben Frank, who once again did 10 observations on the Sixers, Rube Stats. So the Sixers.
Am I imagining, or when did Rube start doing these in the Sixers?
I don't remember.
Because it's fantastic.
By
the way, it's fantastic content.
Yeah, it's awesome. The Sixers are the first team in NBA history to score at least 153 points twice in a span of 8 days.
And we saw the first one.
After scoring 157 points last Wednesday in a win over the Bulls and 153 this Wednesday, the Sixers' first team in NBA history to score at least 153 points twice in the span of 8 days. The last time the Sixers held two close games with at least 153 points actually took place in the 70s. 1970, January 25th to February 15th, so it was a span of 22 days. But now the Sixers break a record within a span of 8 days. That's embarrassing for the NBA because teams should not be able to score that many points. Like if there's a remote effort.
And they just voted to expand.
I know. I don't get it.
It's honestly, embarrassing.
They should take teams away from the NBA before expanding, and I know that will never happen.
I can't believe they're going to do that.
You have so many bad teams.
I don't think it's quality of player, though. That's the thing. I think it's willingness to compete.
Yeah, so don't have more. Don't have more because it is going to be quality of players. You expand teams, you expand rosters. That means some bad teams are going to be even worse. Like the Wizards, Nets, and Pacers both have under 20 wins right now. The Kings got their 20th last night with the win over the Raptors. You have a lot of teams that aren't even at 25 wins this year.
There's no reason for the NBA to.
You're adding?
There's no reason for the NBA to expand.
Well,
there's absolutely not.
There's one big reason.
Money.
Yeah.
Oh no,
yeah.
for the owners there's a reason to expand because the owners want the money. The owners want to spend the money. It doesn't benefit the NBA fan when they can't even get players to play in games when they're healthy. Or get players to attend team meetings when they're,
Well, he's sick. I mean, you look at the draft last year.
It's unbelievable.
The Mavericks had the first overall pick. They're going to be in the lottery again this year. Spurs, Sixers won't be in the lottery. Hornets won't be in the lottery. Jazz, 5th pick, lottery. Wizards, 6th pick, lottery. Pelicans, 7th pick, lottery. Nets, 8th pick, lottery. Like, it's the same thing every year. A lot of these teams are the same. When was the last relevant season for the Nets that did not include signing like 18 different players with Kevin Durant, James Harden, and Kyrie Irving?
It's forever. And that was
when Jason Kidd was on the team.
And that was a blip on the radar.
Right.
That was an absolute blip on the radar that season.
It's a bad product, man. I love basketball, but the NBA is such a bad product.
That's because they've let the inmates run the asylum.
Yeah.
And that's what it's become.
All
Unfortunately.
Right. What do we have on the Davis Honda text line? Feel the Davis difference. Check them out in Burlington. We got the melting pot day today with a bunch of different topics. We'll get more into the Eagles to start the 7 o'clock hour. Some more fallout from Jaylen Hurts' story. But we opened up Phillies. They they take 2 of 3 against the Nationals. They're now 3-3 to start the season. Will you hit the reset button? Because a lot of you panicked after the 1-3 start. Sixers, if I say Sixer Paul George, your reaction is what? And if you're going to the Flyers game, do you have the morning of butterflies? What do we got?
Colby in Central PA checks in, and he says, no reset on the Phillies. Can't help but watch this dumpster fire. It's burning, it stinks, but it's keeping us warm. Base running mistakes continue. We have to wait for the bullpen to start working like last year. It's basically doom and gloom if our starting pitcher doesn't go 7 innings. I can't not watch, but I'm ready to pull my hair out half the time.
Wow. It's burning, it stinks, but it's keeping us warm. I think that's sort of funny.
Wow.
That's sort of funny. That made me laugh.
That's better than Wake Me Up When October Comes.
Yes, because you know what? To me, that's somebody that is better than the Wake Me Up in October because that's somebody who's, even though it's emotion that I don't really agree with, I still like the emotion.
Yeah, he's invested.
He's invested, even though it's a pissed off invested. I really enjoy the emotion, and I think that's raw. That's honest.
Yeah.
That's honest. That's raw. Interesting.
I like that. All right, what else do we have?
We also have a voice memo from Mike in Bristol.
Ooh,
Hey, Mike from Bristol. I'm super excited. I told you guys the other day, this is my first game going. Super good game to go to. I kind of got out of the Flyers a little bit because we were really bad, but hopefully come out with a dub. Good to see Martone, hopefully. It's gonna be a good night. I'm feeling confident. A lot of stake on this game. Let's do it. Go Flyers.
Good job, Michael. Heavy use of the super. My man Austin and I talk about the use of the super a lot. He's super excited tonight.
But this is a great first game to go to, man. And a game like tonight, if they win, right, they pull off the win, that's a game where you have a fan for life.
Oh, my gosh.
Where you're never going to want to not go to the barn ever again.
The barn.
By the way, one tweet.
The barn.
One tweet on the Paul George discussion, and you will be able to speak to this better than Connor and I. Bill checks in.
Okay.
Paul George is Tori in the episodes of Saved by the Bell. We love the show. We know she was a part of it, but really, was she actually a part of it?
Okay, don't remember. Is he talking about Tori being Tori Spelling?
Tori Scott is the character.
I don't remember her.
Okay.
So it must have come later.
Then maybe that's
must
perfect.
have come. That could be it.
Then maybe that's literally the perfect analogy, right? 10 years from now, if the Sixers win a playoff series and then they lose and Coop goes, tell me about the 2026 Sixers. Who was on it? I might forget that Paul George is on the team.
You might forget it. Yeah, exactly. And the one thing is, as I said, in order for Paul George to become, in order for him to become a Sixer, that I'd ever say Sixer Paul George, I need to know that he's contributed something to a big turnout.
Right.
So there it is.
All right. What do we have as the poll of the day? Dr. Avidan Appel helps polls stay strong in the morning here.
Thanks,
4 hours every morning, 4 hours in the afternoon as well with our friends at Unfiltered. Shout out to Dr. Avidan Appel and Iron Mountain Men's Health. What do we got?
So we've been talking about a change of opinion so far this morning.
Yes.
So I figured we'd pit them against each other. Who is it more likely for you to be able to change your opinion on? The 2026 Phillies or Paul George as a Sixer? 90% of our early responders are saying the 2026 Phillies.
Really?
Only 10% saying Paul George is a Sixer.
I'm in the 10%.
Really?
I think I know what this Phillies team is. I'm not panicking, right?
Right.
I'm not freaking out.
Okay.
I think this Phillies team will win 90-plus games. I think their starting pitching will be the reason why they do that. I think they will have some flaws in the middle of the order unless Adolis Garcia continues to hit the ball like he did again yesterday, and then you move Bohm down to that sixth spot. I think the bullpen will be fine. I'm not too worried about Brad Keller giving up a bomb yesterday. I think I know what this Phillies team is. I don't know who Paul George is as a Sixer. We all have predictions.
I think you do. I think you do know.
I didn't expect 39 points last night.
I didn't either, but I can't tell you when it's the Wizards. Who aren't even playing.
I got you.
That team's not even
But the
playing.
game against the Hornets, he was great.
Yeah,
and that was a
the Hornets-
big game against the Hornets.
And the Hornets are playing, but the Hornets are still a marginal playoff team. They're
one of the best offenses in the NBA.
Yes.
He had 13 boards, 4 steals, and he was locking guys down. Just saying.
Okay.
I have my opinion on the Phillies.
I refuse to worry about a baseball team the first week of the season.
Right, so that's why I would say
just
Paul
can't.
George.
But my opinion on them is different. That's a different thing, because my opinion on them is still a struggle bus.
Oh, of course.
That's the problem.
All right, coming up next. Yesterday, we spent the entire show reacting to the Jaylen Hurts story that dropped. Well, John Kincade has another thought and an observation that we did not hit yesterday. So we'll get into both of those next. We'll continue to talk about everything else that we got going on. Told you, Melting Pot Day. It is Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
A comeback win for the Phils. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Phillies finished off their homestand with a walk-off win over the Nationals, 6-5 in 10 innings. Ninth inning rally led to a 2-run RBI single from Edmundo Sosa to force extra innings. Then Justin Crawford, the rookie, ended things with his first career walk-off hit in the bottom of the 10th. The Phils are off today. They have a 3-game series in Colorado with the Rockies starting tomorrow. Sixers ran it up on the Wizards last night, 153-131 the final. Paul George had his best individual game as a Sixer, 39 points in the win.
Here's George into the lane, lays it up and in. Driving right at Bub Carrington, who cannot hold him off. Paul George, 39.
You can hear all those games here on 97.5 The Fanatic. They're now tied for the 6th seed with the Toronto Raptors, and they have the tiebreaker. They're off tonight. They'll host the Timberwolves tomorrow night. Flyers host the Red Wings tonight at 7 p.m. You can hear that game live here on 97.5. A huge one as they continue to try and make a postseason push. Andrew DeCecco joins us from the 8 o'clock hour to the end of the show. We'll continue to react to the Jaylen Hurts article from yesterday. Scott Lauber of The Inquirer joins us at 9:05 to react to the Phil's first homestand of the year. This update is brought to you by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you are not alone. You always have a place at MADD. Call the 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MADD-HELP or visit MADD.org. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and The Fanatic.
And the Fanatic app.
Oh, it is 7 a.m. on this Thursday morning. Don't forget Andrew DeCecco in studio with us starting at 8 o'clock for the rest of the show. By the way, shout out to one of our great listeners. I've mentioned his name a few times, and you always laugh when I mention Big Tasty.
Big Tasty's just a great nickname. It's a very aggressive nickname.
Big Tasty tweets at us at 6:05 in the morning. Good morning, gentlemen. I've been playing MLB The Show all night and lost track of time. It's 6 a.m.
Wait a minute. Okay, not being a gamer, you're gonna have to fill me in.
I've been there.
Oh, yeah.
I've been
Okay,
there.
what time do you think he started playing? Because I'm not gonna say that Tasty's lying to me, but did he start to play at 3 in the morning?
Probably like 10 or 11.
Okay, there's no way.
I could do it.
You don't lose track of time 8 hours.
Absolutely happens.
Dude, there were days when
Then you got nothing going on, Tasty.
He's off today. He's off from work today. So I remember the days of high school where all of a sudden I look at the clock and be like, oh, my God, it's 3:30 in the morning.
Wait a minute. Is Tasty a high school kid?
No. I'm just saying, that back when I used to play video games all the time, I don't really have as much time.
If Tasty was a high school kid, I'd go, okay, I believe this. Like, I believe you can lose track of time. You're a high school kid. I'm not believing that Big Tasty, with just the nickname, He's a grown man. You're not losing track of 8 hours playing video games.
Well, like you said, you're not a video gamer, so you don't understand.
That happens.
Definitely lost track of time.
Not often, but it happens.
Now, speaking of Big Tasty, he answers the Paul George question, and we'll get into more of these later on this segment. Paul George, as a Sixer, is like ordering DoorDash, and it says out for delivery for 3 hours. You still got hope, but deep down, he knows something's not right. That's another good analogy. We have some good analogies. We got Tori from Saved by the Bell, and we have DoorDash. Paul George, 4 good games in a row since returning from the suspension, and there's like no feeling toward it because he has not allowed us to have any feelings toward him.
I think Tori from Saved by the Bell, maybe at one point they replaced the class.
Oh, is that right?
And they put in all new kids. So maybe Tori was part of that.
Could be, because you already have Embiid and Maxey. That's the real show. That's what you're tuning in for, but Paul George is there.
And they came up with like an exactly new Screech and a new Kelly Kapowski and a new,
So that's so one of our questions today is when I say Philadelphia 76er Paul George, your reaction is what? 610-632-0975. After a big night for him last night, 39 points, 6 of 12 from 3, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 steals. Like, he filled the stat sheet yesterday. I get it. The Wizards suck. But Paul George has looked good since the suspension. Embiid was out sick yesterday. Tyrese Maxey is back.
Sixers didn't even know he was that sick.
I'm ready to feel pain again, Johnny. I'm ready to feel pain again. All right, Eagles. We know the story yesterday. It drops on ESPN.com. Jaylen Hurts, reluctant to change last year. There were some people talking about the 4 verticals play, that he was the one that called it. There was a lot of nuggets on what went down last year. And it's not anything to say this guy is a cancer in the locker room, right?
No, that's not what anybody is saying.
There are people, though, however, that are going too far on both sides, right? That the story is fake. Jaylen Hurts is perfect. There's nothing wrong with him. And then there's the other side where it's Jaylen Hurts sucks, trade him. And I don't get why we have to live in one or the other.
The fake story people are they're just maddeningly dumb.
Yeah, but isn't it maddeningly dumb to say he stinks? And
well, but the thing is, though,
that's the other side.
The thing is, though, the person who wrote the story didn't say he was that. It's the people who take it to the end. I'm talking about if anyone is saying the story is fake, they're the ones that I just have to disregard because they're just being dumb. Because there are 12 different sources on the story, and you're talking about a 20-year veteran in Tim McManus. You're talking about somebody being around doing this, highly respected around the Eagles organization, the Eagles locker room, the Eagles executives. If Tim McManus was making up stories, he would not even have a credential.
Right.
Let alone he might have a fist down his throat if he was making up stories about people. Did anybody come out yesterday, by the way, and of the people that were being like thing and say, "Oh no, I contest this story"?
No. Nobody did.
Yeah, interesting. Sort of like all the A.J. Brown stuff. Anybody say that? Yeah, nobody does because it's not fake. But the issue is did somebody have an axe to grind? And I went back and read it again yesterday, and I'm like, who had the axe to grind?
Look, Patullo could have been one guy.
There were 7 people, by the way, that were right there in that huddle.
That huddle. It was what? Patullo, Jalen, Nick, McKee. A.J. was right on the outside.
A.J.'s right on the outside. Patullo.
Maybe.
Oh, yeah, well, we have Patullo already.
I'm sure Big Dom found his way in there.
Well,
somehow.
Big Dom was not. I couldn't get him in the picture. So, I mean, like, there's a lot of people. I absolutely would believe that.
I think Aaron Moorhead may have been one of the guys, and he's still here, so
sure.
he doesn't have an axe to grind.
But that doesn't mean he doesn't chat.
Sure.
But I believe that the most likely chatters are AJ and Patullo. Most likely chatters about it are AJ and Patullo. And there was nobody contesting that it was his play call. So, I mean, and look, I think Patullo was a buffoon. So that's not me trying to make it. And I'm a Jaylen defender, and I do not want Jaylen going anywhere.
Right.
But to me, it is just it's really uncomfortable. It's really, really uncomfortable when you go and you look at this story.
All right, so you have like another observation from the story, and you have a potential concern from the story. Let's go with the observation first, John.
Is that the one about the
not owning? Owning.
Because for the second time in 3 seasons, Jaylen Hurts and A.J. Brown went rogue at the end of a game. and ignored the called play. And both times afterwards, Jaylen never owned up to it. And that to me is an issue. That to me is that's weakness to me. Because you're going to let Nick Sirianni take the blame. You're going to let Nick Sirianni look like they did in Seattle. Nick Sirianni went for almost a week looking like a buffoon.
A.J. Brown said he looked like a clown.
But AJ, it took AJ like 6 days to tell the truth, to come out and finally tell the truth and say, no, that was Jaylen and I going rogue and doing our own thing. So, but it took AJ like a week after that Seattle game to tell the truth. But AJ did it, and I applaud AJ for stepping up and doing it. But this is another time when Jaylen Hurts is going rogue at the end of a game and then doesn't step up and just own it.
Yeah, I don't know why. I know coaches will always fall on the sword for their players.
Correct.
Like they always will. Even if it pains them to do it, they're going to do it. It's been talked about enough that you would think he would have said something after the Seattle game. Like Sirianni was literally being drugged through the mud, man. Like it was.
He was getting crushed all
nationally.
Embarrassed.
Like he was like literally AJ Brown calling him a clown was right. He looked like a clown, saying we tried getting a pass interference call on purpose. It was bad, and you just wonder. Like, I get what you're saying. Has it led to issues where they haven't been able to win? No,
but I
don't get it though.
But as they say, there are guys who the locker room notices his uncoachability and things like that. To me, that's a matter of leadership. If something happened on this show and I said, Connor, do this. Connor, this is what I want you to do. Do this. And then Scott calls us on it in a meeting and goes, why did we do this? And Connor goes, well, as the producer of the show, we did it thing. And I had told Connor to do it. And we're taking heat for it from the bosses. And I don't step up and say, Connor, I appreciate you, dude, but it was me. I was responsible for it. Then to me, that's weak. That's weak. That's not to me. And now it's happened twice. It's happened twice in a 3-year period that we know of. And I don't dig it. Like I don't appreciate that. I don't appreciate that. And I think that it's weak to not own your decision making. If you make the decision to go rogue, if you make the decision to say, screw the play call, I'm doing this, you want to play the cowboy, then own the results. And don't hide out from them.
Yeah,
and don't let someone else take the blame for it.
It's honestly just like this is like a human element discussion, right? Like because there are people, again, I get it. We all have our favorite players. We have our least favorite players, and there are a lot of people
I'm a big Jaylen fan.
Right. You can love Jaylen Hurts all you want. There is right and wrong.
I don't love this about Jaylen. I don't love this about him.
Yeah, I don't get it. Like I don't get why he would. Like what keeps him from doing it? He's going to be criticized regardless of poor play. He's going to be celebrated for good play, right? Like that's how sports is. We cheer when something good happens. We boo when something bad happens. Is Jaylen Hurts going to be looked at differently if he says, "Yeah, that was on me"?
And more importantly, that's it. Just own it. Just own you're the boss. You're the man. I think a lot of people would actually admire it. That, hey, he's a guy who has strength of conviction, and at that moment, him and AJ decided to do something. And this one too. AJ Brown last time stepped up and took credit for it. I would appreciate if AJ this time Jaylen would step up and take AJ's lead and just do that. But of course, nothing.
Now, speaking of AJ, one of our comments on YouTube from 32, he's been one of the AJ Brown's not getting traded. It's all fake guys.
Oh, it's fake.
Two players you constantly say don't like each other are conspiring their own plays. Does that make sense?
Wait. Who says that we don't like each other? They don't like each other.
Nobody said that.
Nobody has said that. So it's a straw man argument being made by people who are.
In case, I don't know how we don't know the A.J. Brown story at this point because we've been talking about it and you guys complain that we talk about it too much. A.J. Brown does not like the offense. Now, is it because of Jaylen? We're not entirely sure. Is it because of play calling and the mindset of Nick Sirianni, let's be careful with the football, let's not take many shots downfield? Maybe that could be it. Every reporter that has talked about A.J. Brown has said A.J. Brown wants to win, but also wants to get his. He's talked about Canton. He wants to get to the Hall of Fame. It's not A.J. and Jaylen have some weird beef. You mention it all the time. They eat lunch together at NovaCare or whatever the hell it's called now, the Jeff.
Yeah, the Jeff. I mean, is that sitting and having lunch together? Nope. And by the way, again, I can't stand it when people are making fake arguments to try to back up their fake argument. You've never heard on this show that Jaylen and AJ don't get along. On Sundays, on game days, when supposedly Jaylen and AJ don't get along, I've seen Jaylen and AJ in casual conversation before games, walking off fields, warm-ups, things like that. Casual conversation, not like I don't know what they're talking about. I don't go up and interrupt them, but it's not like they are, hey, dude, people can avoid each other if they don't like each other.
Right, yeah.
That's not these two guys.
No.
And that's not what it is.
And by the way,
the thing is, you cannot, and two, I've had many people that I like that I don't like working with. Many people that I like the person. And I would say to you, thumbs up on the person. This person is a really nice guy. This person's a wonderful person. But I don't want to have my career tied to them. I wouldn't want to work with them for 5-6 hours a day.
Right.
There's a difference. That can also be a part of things.
By the way, the conspiring thing, it also means AJ's getting the ball.
Right.
Right? So if AJ wants the ball, hell yeah, he's going to conspire to try to get the ball.
Absolutely.
He wants the ball. He said it. He wants to be the guy that wins the game. Right? Like any press conference where that comes up, Instagram, Janky Randos, all these things. Like he has said, he gets the thrill of being the reason why they won the game. So if Jaylen Hurts is going to check into a play that means A.J. Brown's the hot read, yeah, he's gonna sign off on it. All right, the other thing, you have a slight concern, and you are not the first person that has said this. I refuse to go there because I can't deal with it. I will make believe land, John. I will bury my head in the sand. I can't ever come to terms that this could be a possibility.
And that's the concern, that we've got a quarterback situation here that is becoming similar to one that we saw yesterday. I looked at our comments on socials yesterday, and Dork Boy was bored by the 5-1 deficit at one point. And we had more than 31 comments from people that were saying, oh, my gosh, slow news day, fake stories. Oh, gosh, awful. Jaylen, prove it year? A prove it year for a guy who's been to 2 Super Bowls and everything? Does everyone forget Russell Wilson? Does everyone forget the story of Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks? That Russell Wilson was, by the way, a more accomplished quarterback than Jaylen Hurts? He was more accomplished. He was considered a better quarterback than Jaylen Hurts is as a quarterback. More teams would have taken Russell Wilson than would take Jaylen Hurts. You agree with that, or is my premise wrong, do you think? Russell Wilson,
Russell Wilson
coming off of 2 Super Bowls, a win and a loss.
Or you could say they're just very similar. I
don't believe that.
People are already talking about the trajectory of Jaylen Hurts to the Hall of Fame, just like they were talking about the trajectory of Russell Wilson.
But Russell Wilson as a passer, Russell Wilson was considered more of I believe was given much more grace as far as people talked about Russell Wilson being this fantastic.
I don't know. Yeah. The guy never got MVP votes, so he won, but that tells you a little bit of what the league thinks of him.
Yeah, that's why, in terms of accomplishment, I just think they're very similar.
He was the same.
They both had a great ground game. They both had a great defense.
When you talk about the winner, because people talk about them as winners, he was a freaking winner.
Careful with the football, knows how to use his legs.
Throw a great deep ball.
He was a better passer. The numbers are considerably better. Him as a passer. You're talking about a guy with fourth. No, I mean, it's not even close, Connor. He's 4,000 yards, multiple 4,000-yard passing seasons. It's not even close to Jaylen.
No, I got you, but you're getting too caught up in the numbers. Just go on a feel for me for a second. Does Jaylen Hurts' career so far feel like Russell Wilson's career at the start? because it feels very, very similar to me.
Well, if you're talking about winning, yes. If you're talking about going to 2 Super Bowls, yes. But he's not as accomplished a quarterback because he doesn't throw the ball the way Russell Wilson did. Russell Wilson was a much more prolific passer.
But he runs it more. Like, I don't know. I agree with Andrew on this one. They feel very similar to me.
I almost do Finkel as Einhorn with the two of them.
Einhorn's Finkel.
But I just hope that the personalities are different.
Well, do you think they are?
Yes and no.
It's
do you
funny.
think, okay, the odd, Jalen's, his odd characteristics is his own thing. I don't think he's an oddball like
I
Russell
don't think
Wilson.
he's going on Instagram going, Mr. Unlimited.
Right,
I don't think he's doing Bronco Country, let's ride.
No,
Russell Wilson seems fake.
But wait a minute, you don't think that Jalen's whole image is curated though? Because I do.
No, I think he's a cyborg.
Yeah, but I think it's curated. I think that's completely what he wants to put out there, which is a curated
I think
image.
Jalen Hurts wants to be Michael Jordan. I think Russell Wilson wants to be Russell Wilson.
I think Jalen Hurts wants to be Jordan. He wants to be Jordan. He's created that curated image. And by the way,
fine with it.
If I'm fine with it too, but it's fake.
I'll take the Michael Jordan.
I understand.
I don't know.
It is a image that you are crafting. It's an image that it's just not who you are.
Well, doesn't everybody have control over the personality they put out? Like, you make those choices. There's a story of his dad talking about him when he was a young kid. It was a story about how he couldn't celebrate again because he forgot to do his job when he was a ball boy for the high school team. You guys remember that one?
I thought it was the one when he celebrated with the team.
Yeah, that's what it was, right? And
his dad yelled at him.
Yeah, and into recruiting, deeper in that story, it's like, yeah, I can't tell you about my son Jaylen. Like, he's a different cat. You just kind of got to see what he is.
Well, because you took away joy in his life when you told him to stop celebrating.
But the way you answer your questions, the way you Confucius things, the way you do that, you're doing it. You're purposefully trying to be this cerebral being that you are. Look,
he might just be that guy.
Look, I love. Look, I'm a Jalen Hurts. I'm the guy who wants Jalen Hurts to get extended now. I don't want to risk this. I want Jalen Hurts extended now. I want him to be the quarterback here now. But if you don't see the parallels between him and Russell Wilson, you're crazy. And if you also don't believe that the Eagles would move on from, I think the Eagles moving on from Jalen Hurts would absolutely would not surprise me in the least at the end of next season if things don't progress to playoff victories next year.
All right. Well,
they'd be looking at that. Absolutely.
So we now have all 4 teams in the melting pot.
It is incredible.
Do you have any concern about Jalen Hurts as that Russell Wilson factor? I don't see it.
You really don't see it?
Maybe it's because I don't want to see it.
You think they are completely committed to Jalen Hurts for the next 10 years?
Who, the Eagles? Oh, no, the Eagles? It's different conversation. I thought you meant for
Jalen, I'm saying.
He's Russell Wilson, or could be Russell Wilson.
Well, the thing is, if he was this quarterback that was etched in stone,
they'd sign him.
You'd say, oh my gosh, no. They'd never risk it. I think they're saying prove it.
Oh, I think they are too. Quietly, I think that they are.
So I think they have doubts. That means they have doubts.
Well, it ain't that quiet anymore either.
And by the way,
that story got loud yesterday, didn't it?
I'm the one bringing up that story, and I am a person who says, sign the man. I want him signed.
Yeah.
I don't want it to go any further than this.
All right. You can text into the Davis Honda text line. You can leave a voice memo as well. 610-632-0975. Coming up next, we are going to tell you how you can win a really cool prize. So we'll do that next. But also, Johnny, we're going to do power rankings.
Oh, no.
But instead of reading one, we're going to create our own. And I think this is going to be hard. Come up with the top. I wrote 10, but let's do 5. Top 5 young athletes in Philadelphia right now, 24 and younger. You had 3 debuts within the last week. Crawford, Painter, Martone. And that's just debuts. You have a lot of guys under the age of 24. Maxie's 25. Just wanted to get that out of the way. We'll come up with our 5 each, and I wonder where people come in on this. It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic.
Going to tell you right now, and I mean you need to know this. If you're going to get engaged, you do not want to miss next weekend. It is Benari Jewelers' spectacular sales event. It is the best thing. It's their April bridal event. even more rings on site. We're talking double the inventory. The designers and the interest-free financing with approved credit. It's awesome. It's 3 straight days of amazing savings, the 10th through the 12th. We're talking all the fabulous rings and bands, up to 20% savings, and the best values of the year. Plus, you get interest-free financing with approved credit. You're going to love it. It's April 10th through the 12th. So, guys, if you're looking to get engaged and you've been thinking about it, this is where you're going to save a ton of money. And with the designers there, bringing their whole collections there, you're going to get a great, great selection. So no matter what cut, size, or style that you're looking for her, you're going to find it at a great price. And with the interest-free financing, your diamond dollar goes further. It's Benari Jewelers, 2 great locations, Exton and Newtown Square. I love these folks. But next weekend, it is going to be awesome. It's their annual April bridal event. Get in to Benari Jewelers.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
A series win for the Phils. I'm Connor Thomas. The Phillies finished off their homestand with a walk-off winner over the Washington Nationals, 6-5 in 10 innings yesterday. 9th inning rally led to a 2-run RBI single for Edmundo Sosa, forcing extra innings when the Phils looked dead there. And then Justin Crawford, the rookie, ended things with his first career walk-off hit in the bottom of the 10th.
Hit sharply, base hit into right center field. The Phillies have come all the way back, and they have won it on the first career walk-off base hit for Justin Crawford.
Great call by Tom McCarthy on NBC Sports Philadelphia. The Phils win the series against the Nationals 500 on the homestand, or the opening homestand. They're off today. They've got a 3-game series in Colorado with the Rockies that starts on Friday. Sixers 153-131, their win over the Wizards last night. Another great offensive performance. And Paul George led the way, 39 points for him, one of his best individual games as a Sixer. They're now tied for the 6th seed with the Toronto Raptors, and they have the tiebreaker. They're off tonight. They host the Timberwolves tomorrow night. Flyers host the Red Wings tonight at 7. You can hear that game live here on 97.5. It's a huge one as they continue the postseason push. Andrew DiCecco joins us from the 8 o'clock hour till the end of the show. This update is brought to you by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has led inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more at crohnscolitisfoundation.org. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and The Fanatic.
On the BetParks app, play all your favorite casino games. There's always another way to win on the BetParks online casino and sportsbook. Got to be 21 in Pennsylvania, Jersey, or Maryland. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
All right, it's 7:31 here on Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. We'll check our text line to start the segment, the Davis Honda text line. Feel the Davis difference. Check them out in Burlington, 610-632-0975. All 4 teams have been discussed so far this morning, which is nice because yesterday the show sheet went out the window and we had a Jaylen Hurts day to talk about. But the Phillies win yesterday. Are you willing to hit the reset button? And I'm not saying the reset of expectations. I'm saying reset of emotions. Because a couple people went a little too far after the 1-3 start. And I get it. That's what we do as fans. We always go over the top. We always overreact.
Yes.
But all of a sudden, the team stunk, and they weren't going to make the playoffs. We had texters telling us, yeah, see, they're not even going to make the playoffs this year. Are you going to hit the reset button on your emotions through the first 6 games of the Phillies? Sixers, when I say Philadelphia 76er Paul George, your reaction is what? Eagles, the Jaylen Hurts, Russell Wilson thing. Do you have any concern that it's heading down that path? And then Flyers, if you're going to the game tonight, let us know. Are you getting the morning of butterflies? What's on the Davis on a text line at 610-632-0975?
All right, so we have a check-in on the Paul George conversation. Marty from Delaware says, 10 years from now, we will remember Paul George as a Sixer as much as Mike Piazza as a Florida Marlin.
Oh, my gosh.
Wow.
Was Piazza a Marlin for how long?
I don't know, maybe 2 years?
I mean, yeah.
At most.
That's the truth is you think about that and you go, there are guys you don't think of as being parts of teams. Paul George, hey.
He was a Marlin for 5 games.
Yeah, but remember he got traded in the real short thing.
I said at most.
It was Mets to Marlins to Dodgers, right? It was
No,
Dodgers to Marlins to
Marlins, Mets.
Dodgers,
Yeah.
Marlins, Mets, I mean.
And then Padres, A's, the last 2.
No, I wouldn't. You know what's great is I wouldn't have gotten Padres or A's.
Those were the last 2 seasons. San Diego in 2006, Oakland in 2007. But he also didn't play for a team to like make an impact. Like, if Paul George makes an impact in the playoffs and they win a series or two
then
and he's
it all
averaging
changes.
16 and a half a game
Then it
and
all
playing
changes.
defense, then how will we speak of him?
Everything at that point changes, and it should change. Then he earns it. Then at that point he earns it. He earns that respect.
Yeah.
He earns that because he hasn't done much to endear himself. Let's put it that way.
He has not. What else we got?
We also have a check-in on the Jaylen Hurts question and the article that we were going through. Chris from Harleysville says, so AJ admitting it created an argument.
I believe that is part of I believe that happened. Now, do I believe that I have no knowledge that is something that has caused a rift in their relationship? But I was led to believe by people who were in the know that AJ speaking up did not go over well. That AJ should have kept his mouth shut and not talked as much. That Sirianni had taken the blame and that it was like, why did you speak about it?
Yeah, but then my question would be, why didn't you at the very beginning? Like, why didn't you just own up to
Just own up to it. Come on now.
Yep. Should be that simple.
Please.
All right. I think this is harder than what people might think. If I asked you to name me the top 5 players in Philadelphia that are 24 years or younger. Now, I wrote down all those players that would probably fit in that category. We can then come up your order of 5. By the way, Jalen Carter turns 25 in 3 days.
I looked it up.
So
he counts?
No.
I say take him out because
Take him out.
The dude's an all pro. Like the dude's a stud. Like
he's gone.
If he's not number 1 on your list, then your list is wrong. Right? I know everything's opinionated and feel. No, you're wrong. Your opinions and feels are wrong if you don't have Jalen Carter's number 1. So Jalen Carter out because he turns 25 in 3 days.
He's out.
So some of the names that are 24 and younger and are not turning 25 in 35 minutes.
Give one of the names on your list.
Quinyon Mitchell.
Quinyon Mitchell's on my list. He's got to be number 1 on your list?
I'd have him.
I have him at number 1 as well.
Okay, Quinyon's on your list. You would, and Cooper DeJean on your list?
I have him at number 2.
Yes.
So you put those two 1-2.
They'd rival Carter for me.
Quinyon and Cooper 1-2, considering they won a Super Bowl were big reasons why you won a Super Bowl, and then had arguably better years the next year.
Okay, then I got to know if your 3, 4, and 5 are the same.
All right, what do you got?
Is it, and do you want them in order, or you just want the 3, 4, 5? Do you want
I
them in
wrote
order?
mine in order, but whatever you want to do.
I did not write them in order, but
All
I'll
right.
put them in order for you. I'll put them in order as I'd have them right now. Edgecombe.
Yes, I have him at number 3.
Yep.
So you go 3 with Edgecombe.
Because of his impact with this
Okay.
team, with the guys and without the guys.
How are we all 1, 2, 3 the same? And then 4, I'm going to put down Crawford.
I have him at 5.
I do as well.
And I'm going to put Painter at 5.
Ah.
I have Painter at 4.
So you just flip. 4 and 5 is the only thing we flip.
I don't
And
have,
I do it, Connor, I only do it because of every day. Well, Rob Thompson will give him days off when he doesn't need it.
Yeah.
Almost every day versus a starting pitcher. That's the only reason that I do 4 or 5, but I get your point.
I have Painter, honorable mention.
Who do you have 5?
I have Crawford 5. I
Who do you have
have
4?
part of the reason why we're still talking about this Flyers team is Trevor Zegras.
He's 25, brother.
He is?
25.
Good effort.
He's 25.
Oh, he just turned 25
Yeah.
13 days ago?
Yeah, I had to look at that too.
Damn it.
Well, by the way,
All right.
I wouldn't put him there. He wouldn't have made my list ahead of the guys that I mentioned.
Look,
He would have been on there for me.
I'm talking about the Flyers in April for the first time in a long
You're
for the
getting
first-
caught up in that.
Well,
I got you. I got you.
You know,
I think
he's my new favorite.
Trevor's a fantastic player. I wouldn't put him there.
The lettuce, like he's my new favorite.
Yeah, the guy on the Flyers that I think who's actually under 25, who would be in the argument, Tyson Forster. Now, we haven't thought about him for a while because he was
'cause of the
injured.
injury.
He was incredible to start this year.
He was.
You could make an argument of him, but I don't know that you could put him
And
above.
I don't have Matvey in there yet because he needs to take that next step.
You can't put Matvey in there yet, and you can't put Martone there yet.
No,
You
he's
haven't
played
seen
one
him
game.
yet.
All right, then I will put somebody still ahead of Andrew Painter.
Okay,
I'll
who?
take Zegras out because I have to.
Okay.
Jalix Hunt.
No.
Hey, I watched Andrew Painter play
Well, you're
one.
allowed to put your.
Yeah, I watched Andrew Painter play one game. Right, like I can't all of a sudden put him as a top 5 player. Under a certain age.
I got no beef with the Jalix Hunt pick.
He turned 25 15 days ago.
Okay, now I have beef with it.
You have a problem with age.
Whose exercise was
Why
this?
is everyone born in March?
What's 9 months ago?
What were the parents doing, man? Come on.
Summertime, summer loving. Had him a blast. Summer loving.
Hey, I haven't. Man.
It's like
They're
all
horny back then.
No, I mean
Jeez.
it's like all. That's why I told you before. All the babies that are born, all the dates of everybody's birth dates being born because of the Christmas parties.
Oh, come on, man.
Maybe like 4th of July kids?
Yeah.
Christmas party babies are the biggest.
They were listening to Ray sing "America the Beautiful," which is one of my favorite songs, the Ray Charles version.
Amazing.
I love it. And then they got busy.
By the way, did you hear? I know the Masters is coming up.
Yeah, I know. I hate it.
So you're.
I know exactly what you're saying.
Why the hell are you going away from the Georgia on my mind?
Back-to-back years.
Why are you going to a Fugazi bogus knockoff version of Georgia on my
It's
mind?
Thomas Rhett this year.
What is
and
this?
last year was the guy I never heard of, but
Noah Khan.
Noah Khan.
What
yeah.
is it? What is it? Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it. I don't need Walmart version of Georgia on my mind. It's a classic.
Yeah.
It is an absolute classic. And more importantly, as someone who was a 25-year Georgian, Rhett version. No. We're not doing.
Are they trying to rebrand the Masters? What are we trying to do?
It's exactly the opposite of what the Masters is. The Masters is not, let's go with a flavor of the month, dollar store version of a great classic.
Yeah.
You don't need to do it.
Now, Thomas Rhett's not a flavor of the month. He's been very big in the country scene for years.
But if you asked 100 Americans, 25, 30.
Ray Charles.
Yeah, exactly. No, 25, 30 are telling you who Thomas Rhett is. 100 Americans?
Right, no, but I'm saying Ray Charles is the guy that
Ray
most
Charles
people would want.
Don't mess with it. Don't mess with it.
All right, here's how you can win today's prize. And
I want to hear this.
We have a couple of them, Johnny.
This is great.
We have tickets to the Franklin Institute.
I love Franklin Institute.
It's so cool there, man. And I went back pre-Cooper with my wife. She's really into science stuff. So we went, and I was like, damn, this is really fun, even as an adult. Not
Did you
with
ever
a
go to
little
one of
kid.
their adult nights?
I have not.
Okay.
I heard it's really fun.
They're so much fun. By the way, Art Museum, too. Art Museum nights where they have the cocktails and everything like that is great. Great date night, guys.
I
if
imagine.
you're single,
That's a good one.
If you're single, classy date night. Just think about it. But it's a fun. Franklin Institute's fun.
So we have 4-packs of tickets to the Franklin Institute. We might not get through all 5 today, but we have tomorrow as well. So here's the game we're going to do, Johnny.
What's that?
5th grade science questions in honor of the Franklin Institute,
Are
which
you
is a
smarter
great
than a fifth grader?
scientific institution here in Philadelphia. We have the exhibition at the Franklin Institute explore how theme park attractions like Jurassic World, Minions, and Super Nintendo World come to life through hands-on exhibits, behind-the-scenes content, and cutting-edge design and storytelling innovation. Tickets at fi.edu.
Are you smarter than a 5th grader?
So I will give Connor and John the example question. What gas do animals need to breathe to survive?
Oxygen.
Correct.
That's good.
So they're easy.
Oh, well, wait, though.
Some of them.
Connor, you always say math isn't your fastball. Science is not. Science and geography are not mine. Connor loves geography.
I'm awesome at science, too.
So
My mom's a scientist. So
Connor
had to
loves
be.
this stuff.
So what we were doing a couple weeks ago for the knockout,
So by osmosis, you picked up science, Connor.
Pretty good. Yes.
I will
I don't
ask
know what
the-
osmosis
I will
is.
ask you a question. You text in the answer that you think is correct to 610-632-0975, and we will have winners drawn throughout the course of the
That
show.
sounds like fun.
5 4-packs of tickets to the Franklin Institute. We'll try to get through all 5 today.
That's awesome.
5th grade science trivia, ladies and
man.
gentlemen. All right, coming up next, we have
Is the
today's-
heart open?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so it is still
Yeah.
open?
From 8 to 10, our man Andrew DeCecco in studio to react to the Jaylen Hurts story and a whole lot more. It is Kincade and Salciunas here on 97.5 The Fanatic. All right. I want to see you this Friday, April 3rd. I'm about to leave for vacation. I'm going to be in Florida on April 6th. So this is like, how about a going away party for my vacation? Come hang out with me.
I'm not celebrating you going on vacation.
Friday, April 3rd, Giovanni's Falafel Bar and Grill on Chestnut Street in Center City. I'll be there with my friends at Corona from 6 to 8. It's the Corona Sixers pregame party, getting you ready for tip-off the right way. And after a big win last night and a big loss by the Raptors, Sixers, the 6th seed, they need to keep on winning to hold on to it. So let's get fired up before the game starts. Grab a cold Corona, enjoy the atmosphere, and get ready for a great night of Sixers basketball. Plus, one lucky fan will be walking away with a pair of tickets to an upcoming Sixers home game, and that could be you. And don't forget, not only are we in action Friday, we're also in action Saturday. Sixers have a back-to-back. Connor will be holding down the fort Saturday, April 4th from 6 to 8 at Timeout Skipback on Skipback Pike, where you can enjoy $4 Corona family bottles and one last Corona Sixers pregame party. So don't miss it. Friday, April 3rd, tomorrow, from 6 to 8 at Giovanni's Falafel Bar and Grill in Center City. And then Saturday, April 4th, from 6 to 8 at Timeout Skipback. It's the Corona Sixers pregame party. We'll see you there. You got to be 21 or older. Please drink responsibly.
The Unfiltered High School Athlete
back to Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
All right, 7:48 here on Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. Before we get to today's headlines, let me give the first 5th grade science question for you.
And Connor, we're not answering these.
No,
right?
you're not allowed to answer.
Okay.
You have to text in what you believe is the correct answer to 610-632-0975 for your chance to win the 4-pack of tickets to the Franklin Institute. We got 5 of them to give away. All right, let's go with how many bones are in the human body? You got to give the exact answer.
You say that's an easy question.
It's easy. I'm going to put all the answers on the board for you,
Yeah,
Andrew.
you got it. I knew that one. You didn't know that one? All right.
Like, I mean, I have no absolute idea of what you're speaking.
Add 1 if you call Dr. Avidan Appel.
Wow.
Wow. While we're at it, let's check the poll of the day. Poll of the day brought to you by Dr. Avidan Appel, Iron Mountain Men's Health. Thanks for the lead-in. What do we got?
You crack yourself up.
Yeah, I do. Okay, our poll today. Who is it more likely for you to be able to change your opinion on? The 2026 Phillies or Paul George as a Sixer? 76% of responders, ironic, are saying the 2026 Phillies. 24% are saying Paul George
All right,
is a
more
Sixer.
people are with me, the Paul George, because I think I know this Phillies team. I don't know the ending.
I thought more people were the Phillies.
Right,
No, but it was
more
10%.
people- it was only 10%.
You're talking about more people are moving to where you're at. Okay, I get you.
Because I think my opinion can actually change of Paul George. I don't,
I told you how mine will change.
yeah.
Win a second-round series. If he helps lead them to a second-round series. By the way, and I have somebody here, first-round series don't matter anymore? No.
Not this
And I
one.
responded,
No.
no, a first-round series doesn't matter.
Not for this team.
No.
No.
Seriously, are we going to celebrate first-round series wins?
I would.
Are you kidding
I'll
me?
celebrate it when they win it.
No, when they win it, I'll
Yeah,
be
like
I'll celebrate that
Not
we're
gonna say
seeing
pish posh.
I'll celebrate that we're seeing a second round series, but don't be celebrating second round series as if it like just winning a first round series like it's an accomplishment. Please.
Yeah, no, they got it.
Please.
Yeah,
let's not lower the standards.
We
that
are
much.
long past that.
Correct.
All right, it's time now for today's headlines with Connor Thomas.
Today's headlines with the Connor Thomas.
What we got, D?
It's brought to us by Lundy Law. For over 70 years, Lundy Law has been fighting for injured people. If you need them, remember the name, Lundy Law, your injury lawyers. Visit LundyLaw.com. That's LundyLaw.com. The Phillies were not the only walk-off winners in baseball yesterday. And just because we like to have fun at the expense of our rivals, why don't we listen in to how the St. Louis Cardinals game ended against those New York Mets?
Little pop, shallow right, into no man's land. It's going to drop, and the Cardinals win it. Mason Wynn with a little flair, and the Cardinals in the 11th get a blue pit, a big win, and take the series 2-1.
Chip Carey with a good call there.
How about that?
Cardinals
Oh, yeah.
TV?
Yeah,
Love
Cardinals.tv.
that.
And it's nice to see, like, that was just an off the hands, like, flare to right field that should have been caught in just no man's land. The Bermuda Triangle, and the Mets go down. Feels
Yeah,
good.
Wow.
I love that. Did you see what Francisco Lindor did yesterday?
Yeah. Forgot the outs.
Runner on first,
Oh, no.
1 out. Ground. Oh, did you not see it?
No,
Ground
I
ball to
did not.
Lindor. I mean, tailor-made 6-3 double play, right? Like he's fielding it behind second base. He just has to touch the bag, throw to first. He touches the bag and starts walking to the dugout.
Oh, moment.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. And that guy's really good. So that was very
is.
uncharacteristic of Lindor. All right,
See,
what else?
mistakes happen for other teams in baseball, not named the Philadelphia Phillies. What else? We're going back to the moon, boys. And I didn't know about this until you brought up this morning, the rocket launch that apparently was affecting stuff
Yes.
yesterday.
My parents they flew down to Florida yesterday. I am meeting them down there Monday. Have a nice little family trip, but they're seeing other family members that live down there. Their flight got delayed a half hour because of it.
Yeah. Have you ever seen a rocket launch from Florida down at Cape Canaveral?
Not in person, no. I've watched the video.
The place we would go is a place called Hammock Beach down in Florida, which is south of St. Augustine, north of Daytona. And if there'd sometimes be a launch, and they would have an event where they'd get you up in the morning and watch from the beach. It's awesome. Science is great if you understand it. I just don't understand
Well,
it.
you probably have fourth grade, just not fifth grade. But it's Artemis 2 is the mission from NASA, launching toward the moon. They're going to orbit the moon and setting up for future missions to land on the moon. So, boys, we're going back.
So they're really going to, this time they're going to go to the moon? So they're
Party
gonna-
like it's 1969.
They're going to go to the moon.
Oh, we're not doing this. Nope, we're not turning this into the moon landing.
I'm just saying they're
conspiracy.
going to go to the moon.
By the way, very random because this is where my brain goes. Like, instead of celebrating the science of Artemis, who's the first person you think of named Artemis? There's only one.
Artemis Prime?
The character
That's
from
Optimus.
Always Sunny.
Yes. She's
Oh,
weird.
yes. Yeah, she's
such
weird.
a weird.
She's a weird character.
Weird character. Makes
But-
you laugh sometimes, and then sometimes you're like, this is unnecessary.
Yeah, sometimes it's an unnecessary character, but
But Artemis, that was like my thought process wasn't, wow, the moon. It was Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Artemis.
You got a weird brain, bro. Speaking of
Yes.
unnecessary that makes you laugh, yesterday was April Fool's Day, and while we let Andrew Salciunas off the hook this year, didn't get him again with a fake read, Ricky Bo was not so lucky on Unfiltered.
We have a new 3 o'clock hourly sponsor, Ricky Bo.
Apparently we do. The 3 p.m. hour is brought to you by Zyprexia. In baseball, just like in life, when something pops out of nowhere, you got to deal with it fast. If you ever had one of those surprise outbreaks, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That's why more guys are turning to Zyprexia. Take it from me, Ricky Bo. I'm no stranger to the occasional hemorrhoid. It's about an absolute casserole down there, but hey, one dose of Zyprexia clears it right up. Hits me back.
Oh, God.
come on. At one point, Ricky's a good sport, but at one point he had to realize that was fake, right?
I think once he said, take it from me, Ricky Bowie's probably like, wait a minute, what is this? He's the best because Ricky is the hand it to him and he'll read it guy.
And he'll read it. He is Ron Burgundy.
Yes.
He'll just read it. That's awesome.
We need that Ricky Bo hemorrhoids drop on the board.
That's fantastic.
Well, it was like a casserole down there. That's
Ricky's a good sport.
That's
some
an
good writing. I got to figure out how to put
interesting
that copy
explanation
out.
He's a good
of a
sport.
hemorrhoid.
He's a funny guy, that Ricky Bo.
Good work by Unfiltered there.
Yeah, really good.
All right, coming up next, Andrew the Checo. He joins us in studio for the remainder of the show. We'll get his thoughts on the article that dropped yesterday about Jaylen Hurts. But I want to also bring this up. If you listened to Andrew last year, he was hesitant to put a lot of blame on Patullo.
He was.
Remember how he used to say it's a collective?
Yes.
And they may not have tried certain things because maybe it didn't fit with certain players?
Maybe we now have some insights that he'll share.
So we'll ask Andrew about that coming up next. Don't worry, Phillies, Sixers, Flyers, they're not going off the table. We have literally a question for all four teams today. So that'll continue coming up as well. Also, your chance to win the 4-pack of tickets to the Franklin Institute 5th grade science questions. Good luck out there. 610-632-0975 is Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. All right, baseball fans. FanDuel in partnership with Valley Forge is giving you a chance to call your shot with Daily Dingers. Joining the action, it's super easy. All you got to do is make a free pick on who's hitting a home run in their game. And if you're right, you'll get a profit boost to use on your next bet for a chance at extra winnings. Just another reason why FanDuel is the home of home runs. Maybe you had Bryce Harper hitting a home run yesterday. If you did, you made some money. Maybe you bet a lot of Phillies players because what do they like to try to do? They like to try to hit home runs. Where are they playing this weekend? They're playing in Colorado. So take a look at some of the Phillies props, maybe Garcia, Bryce Harper, Kyle Schwarber, wouldn't do Alec Boehm. A couple players that you would bet to hit a home run, and that might happen in Colorado. Head over to FanDuel.com/local, opt in for Daily Dingers, and make your free pick on who's hitting a homer. FanDuel, an official partner of Major League Baseball. You got to be 21 plus, present in Pennsylvania, no purchase necessary, opt-in required. Bonus issued is not durable. Profit boost tokens, restrictions apply, including any token expiration, max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Sosa and Crawford play heroes. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Phillies finished off their homestand with a walk-off win over the Nats, 6-5 in extra innings yesterday. Ninth inning rally led to a 2-run RBI single from Edmundo Sosa to force extras, and then it was the rookie, Justin Crawford, ending things with his first career walk-off hit in the bottom of the 10th. Phils are off today. They have a 3-game series in Colorado with the Rockies starting on Friday. Sixers ran it up on the Wizards last night, 153-131 the final, and Paul George with his best individual game as a Sixer, 39 points in the win.
Here's George into the lane, lays it up and in. Driving right at Bub Carrington, who cannot hold him off. Paul George, 39.
It was a great performance, great call by Tommy Gittes here on night. Off tonight, they'll host the Timberwolves tomorrow night. Flyers host the Red Wings tonight at 7 p.m. You can hear that game live right here on 97.5, a big one for the postseason push for the Flyers. Andrew DeCecco joins us coming up next. He'll be with us for the remainder of the show. This update is brought to you by Papa John's, introducing new pan pizza from Papa John's. Order a medium, one-topping pan pizza, just $11.99 when you download the Papa John's app or at papajohns.com. Better ingredients, better pizza. That's Papa John's. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
More of Kincade and Salciunas coming your way now.
It is 8 a.m. on a Thursday morning, which means Johnny and I don't have to work as hard because joining us now for the rest of the show. This is the
idea, is we bring him into
from Inside the Birds and here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Check out the great show on the weekends, Birds Digest. I love it. It's so good. It's quick. And it's awesome, filled with information. I imagine some of the information this weekend will be about the Jaylen Hurts story. Our man Andrew DeCecco in studio. Andrew, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. Great to be with you.
So yesterday was fun for us. Had a show planned, and then
tossed it aside.
There's Tim McManus, and so show sheet went out the window. Before we ask you questions and dive deeper into it, because I do have a very specific question. I don't know if you heard while you were out there or not. What were some of your big takeaways from the Jaylen Hurts article that dropped yesterday on ESPN.com?
Well, it wasn't a lot of things that I didn't know, but I think it adds a lot of context to Jaylen's role in the offensive inefficiencies last season. We spent a lot of time talking about Kevin Patullo's role, the health of the offensive line, the inefficiencies in the run game, and this just adds more context to the collective, the comprehensive shortcomings of the offense. And I think what it also does, Andrew, is it reinforces the significance of the changes that are going to be in place this season. And one thing we know about Jeffrey Lurie, he covets a explosive, dynamic, high-flying offense.
And he covets so much that he does this. Here's my wallet, and I'm going to show you how much I covet. That's why all the money's over there.
And so when you take all that into consideration, the Eagles also pride themselves on being cutting edge. So they're ushering in these different concepts, the Sean McVay and Kyle Shanahan school of thought, and that's here to stay. So the impression that I have is essentially that the train is arriving at the station. This is what we're doing. Get on board because it's leaving. And I think it really heightens the urgency for everyone to get on board and head this thing in the right direction.
I think it's pretty interesting because Andrew and I didn't talk about it beforehand, but we are on the similar page as far as something to talk about with you. You told us during the year you weren't a Kevin Patullo apologist by any stretch of the imagination, but you were very quick to say,
collective.
Guys, there's a lot that goes into an offense.
Sure.
A lot that comes out in that story leads you to believe that Kevin Patullo was part of the problem, but maybe took more of the bullets than he should have.
Yeah, I think that's fair, John. And even Jeffrey Lurie, when he spoke at the owners' meeting a couple days ago, he said it's never about one coach, it's never about one player or one scheme. There are for something to go that awry with an offense that has that much talent on it, it can't be one reason, right? And I think what this story does is it puts things into perspective of Jaylen's role in this. And while his role may be a little bit smaller compared to Patullo and the health of the offensive line, because we know philosophically that's what they were built on with Saquon Barkley, to be able to lean on that, there are certain tendencies that Jaylen's going to have to break this year in order for this offense to work. You have to be willing to change, and what that story does include, if we're being fair, is that Jaylen is now more willing to change than he's ever been. I'm paraphrasing, but that was included in there. And I thought the story was really balanced. I thought it offered both sides of things.
People thought it was like this major hit piece on Jaylen Hurts, and I don't get it. And I said this to John yesterday, Andrew. I'm curious your thoughts. Again, this is thoughts, unless you know something. But maybe Jaylen was reluctant to change and try some things last year because of who was telling him to do it. Kevin Patullo, we all know the story. 18 years in the NFL as a coach. This was his first crack at being an offensive coordinator. Whereas Sean Mannion's being talked about the next guy, right? Mm-hmm. Like he's the next big figurehead in the NFL as a head coach. Maybe he was reluctant to change because of who the messenger was. Do you think that could have played a factor?
No, because then that would suggest that Jaylen's just outright being defiant and not taking to coaching. And I understand that was a part of the story.
That was part of the story, that he was not very coachable.
But I don't think it's a Castellanos type thing where I'm not going to listen to you because of this.
Because you didn't wear the cleats.
I think it has more to do with they just won a Super Bowl playing that style. Jaylen Hurts has won a lot of football games in the city playing a certain style, so he was comfortable and had a proven recipe for success, and why deviate from that? But what wasn't taken into account is that the rest of the NFL caught up to that as well.
Yeah, quickly.
And in order to grow and advance, you have to be willing to change. And this is going to be the most trying year, not only for Jaylen, but for the offense as a whole, because they're going to be asked to do things that is a stark contrast to what they've been doing under Nick Sirianni.
Do you believe that Jaylen Hurts would make a greater jump in 2026 with stuff that he does physically as a football player, like by getting under center, things like that, or mentally about how he approaches the game and what he's willing to do, maybe personality-wise, and what he's willing to accept? What do you think's the bigger hurdle for him? Because when I got to tell you.
I think I would say mentally.
You think the mentally?
I would think the mentally, but he's showcased the willingness to and an ability to be able to break through that kind of force field as well, being able to handle the turnover. This is going to be his sixth play caller. But, John, to kind of expand on what I was saying, I can tell you, being there every day firsthand, that he has made concerted efforts to connect more with teammates. I've seen him be more open and come out of his shell. You can even see that conveyed in his press conferences. But I think the mental side of the game on the field as well, there's a reluctance to turn your back to the defense when you're in play, in play action and things like that under center. And you have to be able to make split decisions in those instances versus when you're in shotgun, you have a clearer picture. The picture changes when you have your back towards the defense, and you have to make those type of split decisions. So I think from a growth perspective and from a mental perspective, some of the things like that, throwing more inside the numbers, not necessarily waiting for a receiver to shake completely free and trusting what you're seeing and letting it rip, being able to fit the ball into those tight windows. And I think I look at that Chargers game. While the results weren't what anyone wanted, I thought that was some really encouraging progress in terms of some of the throws that he was making in that game, and willing to test defenders and not necessarily need a clear picture to let it rip.
And hopefully a full training camp of that, because they redid the offense that 1 week, and it didn't go well ultimately. So maybe a full off season, a full training camp helps that out a little bit. Andrew DeCecco in studio with us. We'll talk some Phillies and Sixers coming up here in a little bit, but some more on this Jaylen Hurts thing. There's so much to unpack from this story. There's rumors, there's sources. One question we got into quickly earlier in the week, and then we really got into it yesterday when the story dropped. Derek Gunn on Monday joined us, and we asked him about the a potential contract extension.
Yeah, I heard.
And he said no. Like,
I mean, he didn't even hesitate.
Not even a second. There was I don't even think I finished.
No.
And he just said no, and then he continued and said that they're not even close to that. Do you believe from this story, to your point about Jeffrey Lurie and his obsession with high-flying offenses, even though he's happy they won a Super Bowl, but he wants a big offense. He pays for it. They have the big analytics department. Are the Eagles setting up a quiet prove-it year for Jaylen Hurts before they work on this extension?
Yeah, it's hard to fathom the term prove-it year because Jaylen Hurts has won a lot of football games here. But given everything, it is a prove-it year in the sense that in order to commit longer term, you have to be able to see Jaylen take to this offense because I believe that this is the offense that's in vogue. The Jeffrey Lurie and the Eagles are behind it 100%, and they're committed to it. That's not going to change, at least in my estimation. And so you have to be 100% certain that the quarterback is going to be able to take to all of these different concepts and principles and not have to continue to scale it back or revert back to some of the previous iterations of the offense.
Does it seem like to you that they do a lot of catering to Jaylen Hurts' likes and dislikes? And do you believe that is something that is dissimilar to other quarterbacks in the NFL?
Yes, they do, and I don't think it's dissimilar because you have a franchise quarterback. Any good coach is going to tailor the offense around what they do well. And the Eagles have won a lot of football games doing that. But the problem is the rest of the league catches up to that, and they've become easier to defend. And so
predictable.
That's why you need to evolve, and that's why this offense is expected to be something that's going to transform it and head it in another direction and maybe elevate it to the level of some of Sean Mannion's mentors like Kyle Shanahan and Sean McVay.
Let me ask something before we get to our next fifth grade science questions. Do you think the Eagles are more committed to Jaylen Hurts or committed to this style of offense right now?
That's a great
yeah, it's an awesome question. I think they're more committed to – I think they believe that Jaylen Hurts is going to be able to carry out the offense the way it's intended.
And if he doesn't, are they saying, okay, let's find a way to make Jaylen the best possible, or we love this idea so much that we need to find the guy that does?
I think they're willing to approach it with a fresh perspective because Jaylen has handled adversity pretty soundly, more than most quarterbacks would, handling 6 different play callers. And so he deserves the benefit of the doubt to make this shift. And I think he's built up enough equity in this city that he deserves the benefit of the doubt. And the Eagles certainly are banking on him doing so. But that's not to say that to what Derek was saying, you don't commit this before you see what the output's
if they really want this offense to be the offense, right? Like they want this. And if it's not done well with, and I'm not trying to get Jaylen out of here. I want that to be clear. But like, I wonder what the Eagles' mentality is. Is it
keep the main thing the main thing?
Is it we love Jaylen so much? Let's say this offense doesn't work. See you, Sean. We'll find another guy that works with this. What has worked? Or, man, we really like Sean Mannion and his ideas. And if it's not working with Jaylen, we need another guy. I wonder where the Eagles are more committed.
It's also important to note that I believe Nick Sirianni said at the coaches' breakfast that, we're still going to do some of our stuff as well. And frankly, you should. I don't know that completely ripping out the foundation is going to benefit, anyone because the Eagles have been really successful doing certain things. And so I think you need to make sure that you're implementing that as well in order to get this offense, I guess, operating at a peak performance earlier in the season, because I do think it's going to require some patience. But if you rip out the foundation completely, I mean, you're pretty much starting from square one.
Yep. All right. You can text the show, or you can leave a voice memo, or you can call in 610-632-0975. All right. Before we get into Phillies Sixers reaction from yesterday, congratulations to Ron in Allentown. He is the first winner. We have 4 packs of tickets to the Franklin Institute. I love the Franklin Institute.
I went there once when I was a kid.
Dude, go back as an adult, man.
Have you not been?
It's cool.
No, I haven't been there since like 1995.
Okay, rainy day where you got nothing to do.
Downstairs, I went back just Christy and I, and then again with Coop, and I've loved it every single time. It's a cool spot to be. Ron in Allentown got the correct answer. The question was, how many bones in the human body? John had no idea. Do you want to take a guess?
I swear to you, I have no idea.
You take a guess. What? He's like counting.
72. I don't have any idea.
All right, do you have an idea? Do you know?
115. I don't know.
Connor knew the answer immediately.
I have no
and so
idea.
did some people on YouTube.
Yeah, it's 206, boys. Come on now.
72.
I have no idea.
You got like 50 in your hand.
I have no idea. That's what I'm saying.
Look, you probably just looked that up and now you're spewing it out like
there's no. Come on, you did not know that answer.
No,
like
I
a
did.
brainiac. Check out
You
the
knew
big
that
brain
answer?
on
Yes.
Connor.
Thanks to my.
You knew that.
Thanks to my mother.
You knew that answer. You knew that answer today driving in.
Yes.
That's a pretty common point of knowledge.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, you two. I wouldn't trust you with the Play-Doh table. I wouldn't trust. And you're telling me you're rattling off these science things. Here's where I'm thinking.
You have just in your.
Are you
one
pumping-
hand is 27 bones.
Okay, wait. Guess what? I got one for you. I got to tell you, it's very without Dr. Avi Donapel, it's very erect right now. I can tell you, I don't understand. Is because I consider Connor. You're very smart. Like you got a lot of smarts. Connor would be very dangerous on if he's on Jeopardy. I'm telling you this. He's crafty smart is, very, very. Andrew's very crafty smart. I don't consider you Mr. Science guy.
No, and I'm not.
Like science fair.
I'm not Bill Nye.
Where did you learn that?
Going to the doctor's office and
ChatGPT.
seeing the sign.
Seeing what sign?
The signs
What
in the
doctor do you go to?
My mom worked at a doctor's office for like 15 years. I would go and just, every once in a while if I missed the bus.
Well, we could test it. We'll see if Andrew knows the next question.
Well,
let's
no,
see.
I
Yeah,
know
yeah,
all the
come on,
answers
give
because
it to us,
I have the questions in front of me. All right, so
Yeah, this is good. Yeah, I'm trying to figure this one.
Sean Rodman knew the answer too. How about that?
You know what though? You know what they're doing is they're teaching all of you youngsters stupid stuff that's not even important.
It's a conspiracy, John. They're out to get it.
All right. Let me.
We're being punked.
All right, Johnny
Okay.
boy,
I'm
Johnny
being
boy.
punked. Okay.
Pay attention to the whiteboard. All right, Johnny boy. This is our next question.
No. I had blackboards.
Oh, sorry, that's right.
You have whiteboards. You
All right.
spoiled brats.
Next person to get this right on the text line will win the second 4-pack of tickets to the Franklin Institute.
What we got?
What is the process in which water changes from liquid to gas?
Okay, that's easy.
All right, that's good.
Now that one's easy.
This is 5th grade science questions. Connor got it right away on the call screener there. Text in what you believe is the
Connor
correct
went to a
answer.
Division III college. I mean,
610-632-0975.
and Oxford.
All right, Phil's Sixers both in action yesterday. Andrew,
Yeah.
the Phillies season has been a rocky one to start the season. It's 6 games in, they're 3-3. Our question for the audience today, is there any chance people can reset their emotions with the Phillies? Not expectations. Even though there were some people that were texting us after the 1-3 start that they weren't going to make the playoffs, we were very emotional through the first 4 games. Do you believe this city can reset their emotions with the Phillies after just 6 games and just start fresh?
I mean, I think it's going to reset like 72 times between now and October, and that's the natural evolution of a baseball season, the ebbs and flows. Yes, I think that's something that's just kind of built into the 162-game season.
Well, the problem is this, is that we talk about it all the time, and you being a football guy is the consuming of a baseball season like football.
Sure.
Which is maddening to me. Like, it's 1-3. If anyone's opinion on the Phillies changed 1-3 to 3-3, I just look at them.
Yeah, like you're crazy.
I'm looking at them glazed over.
Yeah, you can't overreact
because
to
of that.
6 games of a baseball season.
But
you can't overreact to 25 games in a baseball season, in my opinion.
But I got asked yesterday, well, what can you take out of 6 games?
I think you can take Andrew Painter, his start on Tuesday, and be highly encouraged with that. I think he outperformed even the loftiest expectations. I think there's going to be questions now about Aaron Noah, like that kind of maybe reaffirms what we thought going into the season.
Meatball Central?
Yes.
Yes.
So that's sort of confirmation off of what our greatest fears were.
By the way, big matchup. Nola versus Lorenzen.
What?
Oh, no.
Is it really?
The Team Italy 1-2 punch going up against each other.
The battle of the two families.
Oh,
they're
my
calling
God.
it.
That is like Ragu versus, what's the other knockoff, like, bad jarred sauce. It's like
Rao or something.
Rayos Rayos compared to Ragu is top notch. I mean, you could dress up Rayos.
Oh God, the jokes. The jokes write themselves. Aaron Nola 5.40 ERA versus Michael Lorenzen 6.23 ERA.
I used to take a picture every time at Costco, and I will still do it. Walking through Costco, they have the giant pallets of the Rayos charred sauce, and I send one every time to Mike Missinelli.
Yeah, it offends him.
And I sent it to him, and I go, Mike, which one? Hey, Mike, they have the extra garlic. You want me to pick you up a thing? And he sends me back a profanity text.
I'm sure
every time.
He should.
Well deserved.
Rayos. That's Fugazi stuff.
Come on,
that, man.
You can keep that. So
no. I also
keep Nola's last start too. By the way,
I also think that everyone should be really excited about Justin Crawford and his prospects this season because.
Great.
Coming through in the clutch yesterday, but more often, beyond that, I think he's been pretty consistent, and he's in the outfield. He covers a lot of ground out there.
He looks like he belongs. And he looked at
and that's what we wanted, right?
Honestly, the first thing was, and every reporter said the same thing, hey, don't expect like a 330 season. Just let's see if he belongs at the major league level. And he has shown in his 5 games, because
because he needed that day off. Rob was very worried about the 22-year-old being winded.
In the 5 games, he looks like he belongs at the major league.
That's the key there. And I think, John, you mentioned Rob Thompson not playing Justin Crawford and giving him a breather,
a rest day,
a rest day. That also confirms some of your greatest concerns with Rob Thompson, the strategist.
Right.
It's crazy. Well, strategy
Topper being Topper.
Again, I'm not picking him in a game of Connect 4. I'm not. I'll put him against Cooper in a game of Connect 4. He may not win. My Bet Parks app would have that as like he's like a minus 105.
I think Topper wins
against Cooper. But it's the idea too with is it's just great to see because I'm waiting for the light bulb to go off, and I've been convinced by people close to the Phillies that when we see Preston Mattingly ascend, their ideas about young players getting here faster will change.
I hope so.
That's interesting.
Because it's great to see. He belonged last year.
He belonged last year. Like
he belonged to Chance last year.
Max Kepler being the reason why he could not come up was a tragedy.
It's funny, though, because they said last season that they didn't bring up Justin Crawford because they wanted him to be an everyday player. And then
you want to rest him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little mixed messaging
3 days into the season.
Well, believe me.
All right, coming up next.
He's like listening to hieroglyphics. Rob Thompson's press conferences.
Coming up next. Earlier, we talked about an observation and a concern of John Kincaid's from the article that dropped yesterday. Curious to get Andrew DeCecco's thoughts on both of them next. Andrew, you're in that locker room all the time, so we'll find out how valid are the concerns and the observations from Johnny the K.
He may tell me I'm stupid. He does off the air often.
Usually. And we'll see who our next winner is for the 4-pack of tickets to the Franklin Institute. It is Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Phil's back to 500. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Phillies finished off their homestand with a walk-off win over the Nationals 6-5 in 10 innings. The 9th-inning rally led to a 2-run RBI single for Edmundo Sosa to force extra innings. Then Justin Crawford played the hero.
It's sharply base hit into right center field. The Phillies have come all the way back, and they have won it on the first career walk-off base hit for Justin Crawford.
So for all the ups and downs through the first 6 games, they're now 3-3. They're off today. They head for a 3-game series in Colorado with the Rockies. It starts tomorrow. The Sixers ran it up on the Wizards last night, 153-131 the final. Paul George, 39 points to lead all scorers in the win. Sixers now tied for the 6th seed with the Toronto Raptors, and they have the tiebreaker. They're off tonight, and they'll host the Timberwolves tomorrow night. Another big game for them. Another big game for the Flyers this evening. They'll host the Red Wings, 7 p.m. puck drop. You can hear that game live right here on 97.5 The Fanatic as they continue to hold on to playoff hopes. We'll see if they can get the job done. Andrew DeCecco stays with us for the remainder of the show. Scott Lauber of The Inquirer joins us coming up at 9:05 to react to the Phillies' first homestand of the year. This update is brought to you by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you are not alone. You always have a place in MADD. Call the 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MADD-HELP or visit MADD.org. I'm Connor Thomas for your home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and The Fanatic.
Sports Talk, 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
All right, it's 8:30 here on Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. Your chance to win a 4-pack of tickets to the Franklin Institute. We're asking you 5th grade science questions. Johnny, you said you had the last one. What is the process in which water changes from liquid to a gas?
Evaporation.
Congratulations, ding, ding, ding.
Great job, John.
Evaporation.
Connor will let us
Rod
know
Stewart.
who our next winner is. We have 5 of these to give away. Ron and Allentown is our
Institute
first.
is great.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It is so much fun.
By the way, you save money by winning tickets.
Yeah,
That
we
helps.
don't have the
That's
next
good.
winner's info yet, but they did say they'd buy us a beer if we're ever out in the Lehigh Valley area.
Okay.
So we're waiting for the response of the name so we can cash in on
Let's
the
make
beer.
that happen. Let's go watch an Iron Pigs game and grab a beer with our winner.
Garrett
I would be
Stubbs.
in for that.
Garrett Stubbs.
Garrett
Hell yeah.
Stubbs. DJ Triple A will be out there to entertain us.
Who caught Zach Wheeler? Was it Stubbsy?
I'd imagine.
When Zach
I'll have to
Wheeler
go
had
look.
his rehab start the other day.
You didn't see it when he walked off the mound? Oh, you didn't see it?
No.
When he walked off the mound, Garrett Stubbs was holding onto his leg and being dragged off the field. He's like, please, take me with you to South Philly. Take me, please.
Oh, man.
Come on.
Nah, he's going to stay down there.
Yes.
Oh, with all due respect.
It'd be great.
All right.
With all due respect.
John had another observation, another concern.
I'm very observant.
From the Jaylen Hurts article yesterday, and curious to get your thoughts on it, Andrew. So, Johnny, start with the like we did earlier. Start with your other observation from this article.
Okay, it seems as if it was multi-sourced that Jaylen Hurts called the 4 verts last play. That is contrary to. And I raised my hand yesterday, and I apologized for it because I absolutely believed that was a Kevin Patullo call. And it seems as if there was multiple people sort of saying, no, that was what Jaylen wanted to call. And that people were rolling their eyes going, are you serious? That's the call. Jaylen's gone rogue a few times and gone with different plays and at times. What do you feel about Jaylen sort of not taking ownership as Patullo got nailed for that play call? Why wouldn't Jaylen say, that's the call, that's what I wanted?
Yeah, that's difficult to answer. But what I can tell you is, as a franchise quarterback, you have to own that. If you're going to make a change of that magnitude and it doesn't work, you have to say that's on me. It's bad optics to allow your coaches to kind of fall on the sword for that.
And Nick does it all the time.
Twice now.
Right, and there's been other times. You look at the Seattle game, you look at the attempted kill shot against the Packers and the 4 verts play there.
And that's the one. The Packers game was the other one that was pointed to where they went against the play call, and you can see Nick Sirianni clearly say, why? Because it was so stupid.
Yeah, and in that instance, we're talking about accountability. You have to be accountable for what you do, good or bad. And I that right there is an example of you would like to see someone take ownership of that.
So I ask you the next question. Do you see parallels at all between the situation that is here where, it's sort of like a prove-it year for Jaylen Hurts and what happened in Seattle with Russell Wilson? Where Russell Wilson went to 2 Super Bowls, was a much more prolific passer than Jaylen.
Yes, I agree with you there. You look at resume, it kind of matches. You talk about the Super Bowl appearances, being able to elevate your level of performance on the big stage. But, and I guess you look at Russell Wilson later in his career, he didn't run as much. And
he stopped. Remember, he stopped the running.
He stopped
late in Seattle.
He stopped running, and we don't yet know if that's going to be the case for Jaylen. Last season, he certainly scaled it back, but we'll see if that's a recurring trend. But Jaylen, from a personality standpoint, conducts himself much more like a franchise quarterback than Russell Wilson does. He's not doing the Instagram stuff.
Right.
He's stoic, and he kind of keeps to himself, but he leads in a different way, and I think that he exudes more leadership qualities that you would expect a franchise quarterback to do than what we've seen from Russell Wilson. I think that's fair to say, at least over the last 5 years.
I said earlier, Jaylen Hurts wants to be Michael Jordan. Russell Wilson wants to be Russell Wilson. And that's like the biggest difference for me. Like, even though Jaylen Hurts is weird, right? Like, we talk about.
Well, we're weird.
We're all weird.
Everyone's weird in their own way.
But like the way he speaks,
Connor's really
and it's he definitely thinks out some of the lines beforehand. Like, oh, this one's gonna stick. Let me use this one. Like he probably spends some of training camp coming up with new phrases. When can I drop this one? But like Russell, like he's not going Mr. Unlimited.
Yeah, I think Russell Wilson tries really hard, and it comes off a certain way, and that's not what I'm used to seeing.
He's a fake human being, Russell Wilson.
That's not what I'm used to seeing from franchise quarterbacks.
Okay, now you say fake, Russell Wilson. I say curated. I think everything he does is orchestrated.
Yes, I agree with that.
But I think Jalen Hurts is too. I think everything is about the Jalen Hurts image and brand.
Okay.
I think Jalen Hurts, from how he dresses to come to games.
I don't think that. I think maybe the sayings, the one-liners.
The Confucius.
Well, especially when he feels that he has something to prove, or if there's perceived skepticism on the outside and he goes out there and he has a big game, he knows what he's gonna throw out there.
But he's also cool sometimes. So is that what y'all wanted to see? That was like a baller moment. Whereas I don't know what Russell Wilson would have said in that situation.
Well, I think Russell Wilson's just awkward.
Yeah,
he's Screech. To go back to another save,
but Jalen is authentic, and to me, I think that's one of the best qualities any person can have is be authentic, and be unapologetically yourself. Whereas sometimes it feels like Russell Wilson's trying to be a character when he does these social media type things.
Mr. Unlimited. All right, what do we have on the Davis Honda text line? Feel the Davis difference. Check them out in Burlington. We love you, Davis.
What are they saying?
Honda. What do we got?
This texter checks in and says, I don't care how many bones are in the human body. I want to know how many Super Bowls it would take for the Hurts slander to stop.
Appearances or wins?
See, now I agree with the texter. I want Jalen re-upped now. I don't want them to play Russian roulette with Jalen's contract. If Howie can work his mastery, it'll be a lot cheaper to sign an extension with Jalen and help the money now before all their quarterbacks come up and raise the price. And I don't want to see them move on from Jalen. So I agree. Right. I sort of agree with that. Now the slander, though, that comes with being the Eagles quarterback.
Yeah, that'll never change.
It's not just Jalen Hurts. You look at Carson Wentz, you look at Ron Jaworski, you look at Donovan McNabb.
Yes.
I mean,
every Eagles quarterback gets maligned. It's what happens. It's like it's like a politician.
It's the most highly scrutinized job title in the NFL, probably.
Yeah,
I think you could make that argument.
Absolutely.
So, and I would say the same with offensive coordinator. That's one of the most scrutinized job titles in all of sports.
All right, what else we got on the text line, Connor?
This texter, Chris from North Carolina, checks in, says, the thing with this Hurt story is he has shown and proved things in the past. Does he have things to clean up? Yes. Is it more likely that he does because of what I know about his track record? Also, yes.
I like that texter, too.
Got some good texts coming in today.
I'm not doubting. I don't want to be in the business of doubting Jalen Hurts because Jalen Hurts has shown in the 3 biggest games of his NFL career, he's played his best.
And that's where it counts. It's not in the regular season. It's what are you doing when the lights are brightest? And Jalen has delivered. He has delivered. Has he been perfect? No. He had a hand in the offensive shortcomings last season. I've mentioned that with you guys all last season.
Absolutely.
And you saw it in the 11-page story, which was great work by Tim McManus and Jeremy Fowler. So he's going to have to make some corrections and start to become comfortable being uncomfortable with this new change, this philosophical shift. And I think he does deserve the benefit of the doubt that he will be able to. He's going to be willing, but I also think that he deserves the benefit of the doubt that he's going to be able to.
Should we applaud him yesterday? Because Andrew and I were talking about this. Should we applaud him for being willing? I think that's ridiculous.
Yeah, not really.
That it's like they're like people are saying it like, "Hey, Jalen says he's willing to do it." I'm like,
that's bare minimum. There has to be a buy-in. You're the quarterback.
Correct.
This is the offense that they're doing, and you have to support that and be willing to take to it. And I think one of the points in that story, guys, that really caught my attention was that he thought, or that Jalen needs to have someone to check him, and. Is Parks Frazier going to be that guy as the quarterback's coach? I don't know.
I hope it's Sean Mannion.
Right, but, Sean Mannion will. I think he has an authoritative demeanor, and he's commanded a room before, but Parks Frazier is going to be working with him directly as his quarterback's coach.
I brought up John DeFilippo yesterday. Yeah. He and Wentz, butted heads. There's talks of they hated each other. When did Carson Wentz have his best season?
2017.
When John DeFilippo and he were butting heads. Some guys need that.
That hard coaching, they're going to hold you accountable, but they're going to get the most out of you.
Yep. All right. Next, 5th grade science question.
Oh, here we go.
All right. What is the largest organ in the human body?
Well,
we're on the human
did Dr. Avidan Appel check in on the poll?
Connor got it right away.
The largest organ on the human body. I think I know the answer.
All right. Text in what you believe is the correct answer, 610-632-0975. I heard Johnny say it. You are correct, Mr. Kincade.
Okay.
So you're 2 for 3. That's good work by you. All right, coming up next, one question that has not been discussed about Hurts in 2026. Does this go well? I'll explain more coming up next. Andrew will give his thoughts on it. Jaylen's going to have to do things he's not necessarily comfortable with, according to all these reports.
Oh.
So does it go well? It's Kincade and Salciunas. Andrew Pacheco in studio with us here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Kincade and Salciunas, 6 to 10 a.m.
app.
All right, congratulations to Matt in Lehigh, the winner of our second science question. The question that I just gave recently, what is the largest organ in, it says in the human body, the question, but I would say in or on because I don't want to confuse people.
Yeah.
The answer is
skin.
Congratulations. Frank from Maple Glen was able to get that
where's Maple
one.
Glen? Is that New Jersey?
I know Maple Shade
yeah.
is New Jersey.
Isn't it where the big? Isn't that where the big? What do you call it?
Maple
the
Glen
big
is in
buffet is?
Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Oh,
The
you
big
know what?
buffet.
No, you're thinking
No, you're thinking of Shady Maple.
Maple.
The Shady
yeah.
Maple.
But you know what I wanted to
The
tell you
Shady
guys?
Maple's
Remember,
awesome, by the way.
remember 3
It
weeks
is.
ago we had a caller mention that they were from Hellertown, Pennsylvania, and,
Yeah.
And
we
we
had
saw-
a
I
hard
saw
time believing that actually existed. Well, I was a couple of days after that. I was driving back. I went to a record store, and I was driving back, and I saw a sign that said Hellertown this way.
Oh my gosh!
And if I wasn't, I was trying to be a safe driver, so I didn't take a picture of it, but it does exist.
Hellertown. Hellertown's a real town.
Where we're living here in
Maple
Hellertown.
Glen is close to the Horsham area, according to Sean Rodman.
Okay, there we go.
All right, so going to the break, I teased the question, Andrew, and we touched on it a little bit during the break, but for the listening audience, are we sure this goes well?
I don't think you can be sure.
So Jaylen Hurts is about to do things. So if you read the story yesterday, I know a lot of people chose just not to read it, and they just chose to believe it wasn't
No, they
true.
read the headline and then they say, you guys are making stuff up.
So Jaylen Hurts is against pre-snap. He's not. I want to say he's against. He's not comfortable with pre-snap motion and then starting an offense under center and turning his back to the defense. That was brought up in 2024 with Kellen Moore.
It goes back to Bama.
Yeah,
It goes back to Alabama.
Right. This isn't a
He
new
didn't
thing.
like
Like this goes back. Well, tough nuggets here. Like you gotta do it this year because that's what this offense entails. So I'll ask you, do you think he does well in this style of offense?
Well, this is going to be the biggest test of his career. I think if you're starting in OTAs, in training camp, and you're getting him on board with that, and I do believe that Sean Mannion, based off of everything that I've gathered anyway, he hasn't met with the reporters yet, but I think that he's someone that can sell you on his vision, and that's something that I think will go a long way with Jaylen. So I don't think that there will be a buy-in. Now, I think that Jaylen knows that there's always so many cards to play. You can either revert back to the offense last season, which the NFL has sniffed out,
Right.
or you can choose to evolve and grow, and he could have another level to his game that he hasn't even reached yet because this offense, what we're expecting to see, could accentuate other things that he does well. And I think he will be able to take that next step as a quarterback. So I believe that he's going to do everything that he can to really take to the system. If it doesn't work, they're going to. I mean, they're not just going to. Okay, we'll go back to doing the old stuff. I don't think that's going to be. I think they're going to continue to do it. But any good coach will not do the square peg round hole. You're going to find ways to accentuate what your quarterback and what your offense, let's not forget, does well. So I think you're going to see a lot of what Sean Mannion's bringing in, but I also believe you're going to see some of what was successful for so many years under Nick Sirianni with Jaylen Hurts as the quarterback.
Are you surprised that we have not heard from Mannion? Now, I know that it's not uncommon because there have been coordinators hired before that we haven't heard from till minicamps.
Yeah, not uncommon for the Eagles because it was OTAs that we spoke to Kevin Patullo, and we spoke to Kellen Moore, Vic Fangio. So it's kind of par for the course.
Okay, so it's
nothing
not uncommon.
No, nothing out of the ordinary.
Okay.
I can't wait to hear.
I can't wait.
Oh,
Yeah, I can't wait.
I
to
can't
talk
wait
to
to
him.
hear from because I want to hear him articulate the vision.
Yeah.
I can't wait to talk to him so we don't just have to say presumed or what we're expecting. We'll be able to hear it right from him what his plan is.
Yeah. Yesterday, Jeremy Fowler, who co-wrote the article that dropped yesterday on Jaylen Hurts with Tim McManus, he joined Middays with Marks yesterday. And one of the questions was basically what we just discussed. Like, how does Jaylen Hurts handle this new offense that he himself, or according to sources, has said he's not necessarily comfortable doing certain things that this offense will definitely have. This was Fowler yesterday.
I do think he responds well to challenges. And that's why, we're hearing right now that with Sean Mannion, the new OC, Jaylen has seem very receptive and open to some of the changes they have to make. I think part of that is, well, I can't speak for Jaylen on this, but just my observation is the train is leaving now and you got to hop on it. They've had basically the same offense that Kellen Moore tried to tweak, but it's been an offense that's accommodated Jaylen. They've taken it so far. A lot of people have been fired, and now it's a new system in there. And you know, if you didn't want to run some of the motions and shifts or under center stuff before, you got to get on board now. And I do think he has responded to that so far. It's early, but, you know, it seems like the early returns are good in that regard. And I do think he's highly motivated by challenges or when he's doubted. So I think he will respond to this in the right way.
And I love that. And it's kind of what you were saying, the challenges. Zach Berman, was it 2 weeks ago? When did he join us? Last week, 2 weeks ago, he said when he had the book that Jaylen was reading to the kindergartners, Zach was there with Jaylen, and Zach had a brief conversation with him, and Jaylen said he was very excited. And Zach was like, look, he said it in a way Jaylen would say it. Like, it wasn't like he was smiling.
He wasn't beaming ear to ear.
Right, because it's Jaylen. But being excited is a lot different than what he said about Kevin Patullo last February when it was, well, that'll be a different role for him.
Did you see that Jaylen is writing another book?
Oh, really?
Yeah, they had so much success with the first book. He's writing another book.
What is it called?
When Your Boss is a Dope. That he's the next book for the kids.
That's not nice.
So he's gonna do it.
But I like that Jeremy used my train at the station analogy as well. And I would add to this real quick, guys, that it's important to note that when Kellen Moore came in, it was believed that we were going to see a lot more pre-snap motion and some different tendencies offensively, and that lasted about
4 weeks,
4 games, and turnovers mounted,
and then
the
Nick
offense
Sirianni shaved his head,
and the offense wasn't functional, and then they had to go back to. Well, they had to shift and become a run-dominant team, which, of course,
no pun intended,
led them to the Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
Yes, all right, let's check the poll, Connor, because I'm really interested in Andrew DeCecco's answer on this. Poll of the day brought to you by Dr. Avidan Appel and Iron Mountain Men's Health. 4 hours strong in the morning, 4 hours almost as strong in the afternoon. But we have strong
Bill's
polls
been looking
here in
a
the
little
morning.
limper lately.
What do we got?
Who is it more likely for you to be able to change your opinion on? 2 options here, the 2026 Phillies or Paul George as a Sixer. 71% are saying the 2026 Phillies.
People are listening.
29% are now saying Paul George is a Sixer.
You know what it seems on every one of our polls is that the 6 to 7 o'clock hour, it's one way, and then it shifts drastically as the other people wake up.
Yeah.
But there's something about the people who get up like we do, like roam the earth like zombies, that maybe their answers are more harsh. And then the more calm people who got to sleep till normal hours,
I'm sure that helps a little bit.
They have a more reasoned approach to life.
So one of our questions today, Andrew, as Paul George has now played 4 very good games since coming back from his suspension, but the Paul George experience has not necessarily been with many memories. I'm not even saying good or bad, but like memories, period.
No.
Very forgettable tenure.
If I said to you, Philadelphia 76er Paul George,
I would think back to last night, I guess.
Yeah,
but also just a little bit of disappointment because I did have optimism when the Sixers signed Paul George. And
I did not.
Right. I remember actually the day that they signed him, I was here with you guys, and I remember you and John were, you're kind of lukewarm on the response.
I was not here. I was in Estonia.
Oh, no, you were in Estonia.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I was freezing cold.
Then it was Connor and John.
I was freezing cold on it.
But I was definitely here, and we spoke about it. And I know, John, you were a little lukewarm on that.
Oh, no, I was downright chilly.
So my opinion can change most on Paul George based off of what he's able to do here down the stretch.
And that was my answer, too, because I think I know this Phillies team. I don't know Paul George as a Sixer. And Paul George is a Sixer if he continues to play like this and they win a playoff series. Maybe they win 2.
What?
Everybody's opinion on Paul George should change. I know we like to do this was my opinion before, so we're going to stick with it. If Paul George wins them a playoff series?
Oh, no, he'd be a hero.
Let's go Paul George.
Well, not a first-round playoff series. Not a first-round playoff.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
He would have done more than I would have expected. All right, coming up next. Phils, 3-3. Will you hit the reset button of your emotions with this Phillies team? Probably not. Scott Lauber joins us coming up next. It is Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now, on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Phils rally for a late win. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Phillies finish off their homestand with a walk-off winner over the Nationals 6-5 in 10 innings. The ninth-inning rally led to a 2-run RBI single for Edmundo Sosa to force those extra innings. Then it was rookie Justin Crawford ending things with his first career walk-off hit. The Phils are off today. They've got a 3-game series in Colorado, starting with the Rockies on Friday. The Sixers, they had a nice offensive night against the Wizards. That might be understating it. 153-131 the final. And Paul George, his best individual game as a Sixer, 39 points in the win.
Here's George into the lane, lays it up and in. Driving right at Bub Carrington, who cannot hold him off. Paul George, 39.
The Sixers are now tied for the 6th seed with the Toronto Raptors, and they have the tiebreaker over Toronto. They're off tonight, then they got a big back-to-back. Minnesota at home tomorrow, then the Detroit Pistons come to town. The Flyers host the Red Wings tonight at 7 p.m. You can hear that game live here on the Fanatic. A big one for them as they continue to make their postseason push and try and find their way into the dance. Scott Lauber of The Inquirer joins us coming up next to talk about the Phillies' first homestand of the year. This update is brought to you by Mothers Against Drunk Driving for victims of drunk and drug driving. Your grief is unique, but you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call the 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MADD-HELP or visit MADD.org. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
Don't worry, we will. But first, let's hear what they got into earlier today on Kincade and Salciunas.
And a lot of the Phillies fans hit the reset button. Like, you know how this goes. They lose a game. They'll wake me up when October crowd comes. All of a sudden cares. They're 3-3. All right? We're 6 games in. They are even. 3 wins, 3 losses.
So what are you asking people to do?
Can we just kind of relax a little bit? A lot of people have been on edge with this Phillies.
No one's gonna change their DNA. Like they're just not going to. No matter what you plead to them, they're not going to change that DNA.
It's just amazing the amount of tweets I got from innings like 2 through 6 or 7 yesterday, and then innings 7 through 9, my mentions go quiet.
All of a sudden, it goes quiet.
Why?
Because you know the answer to this.
Why?
But you know the answer.
I'm going to steal a line from Jeffrey Lurie. You got to look into your heart, man.
But you're asking questions you know the answer to. These people are going to question one thing, and then they're going to disappear when things don't go their way.
But their way is winning. Like that, unless you're not a real Phillies fan. Like, their way should be winning. That's what goes my way. I'm happy when they win. I'm not happy when they lose.
We've discussed this. You're not going to change them. Their feet are entrenched in the, I think that this just sucks, and wake me up in October. So they're not going to acknowledge when this team pulls out big wins. Yesterday, I thought that was absolute loss. Yeah. I couldn't have been more convinced that anything was going to happen yesterday that was a loss. And then it was a win, which is great. That's awesome. You should be happy. It's baseball season. And you're going to have ups and you're going to have downs, but people don't realize it. They consume it like football.
Now back to the show.
All right, that's what we've been talking about. Part of it. We've been talking about all the teams pretty much today, but the Phillies discussion of can you hit the reset button emotionally with this team? Because when they were 1-3, there was a lot of over the top. Fire Topper, Bryce Harper's cooked.
I'm sorry about the Fire Topper stuff. I just had seen enough.
There was a lot. And, I saw, oh my God, wait, somebody tweeted at me that Duran wasn't that good anymore. And I was like, based off of what? Like, what are we doing here? And then they win 2 straight, and it's much more quiet because, as we always use the Yelp review example, people go to Yelp to complain more than they go to Yelp to celebrate the great service of a place.
I can't stand Yelp reviews.
But people do that, right?
I think people sabotage business.
It hurts small businesses.
It absolutely
I can't
does.
stand that.
And I think right now the Phillies fans are Yelp reviewers. When it's bad, they will take to social media. They will complain about it, talk about the downfall of this team. But then when it's good, it's, I expected that. So it should be good. You know what I mean? Like that's
you're absolutely right.
That's exactly how it is. A lot of Phillies fans are Yelp reviewers.
Correct. And more importantly, the Phillies fans, again, the Phillies fans who are the Wake Me Up in October folks, only wake up during the season when they're on the 3-game losing streak.
Right.
When they win a couple games in a row,
hibernation.
Then it's nothing. It's easy to see.
And that's what I don't get. Because you said, you heard it in the reset there. John's like, well, they're having their way. Their way should be winning. If you are a Phillies fan, your way is winning.
Yes.
Unless you live to watch your teams lose. And if that's the case, then I don't want to hang out with you. Like, we're not friends. If you are a Philadelphia fan living to watch them lose.
Yes. I mean, you can't call yourself a fan and say, I'm rooting for them to lose, because it's not like it's the last 10 games of the year and you're trying to get the number 1 pick. It's you're rooting for a team that has opportunity, and you're just like, I'm just tired of this. I want them to lose. No, I can't do it.
And just think how long you have to wait for the season to roll around and to kind of go into it with that mentality. It's tough, man. It's tough to live that way.
Absolutely not for me. All right, well, the Phillies are now 3-3. Will you reset? Hit the reset button of your emotions, not expectations, your emotions. 610-632-0975. You can text into the Davis Honda text line. Feel the Davis difference. Check them out in Burlington. They're the best. You know who else is the best? Scott Lauber's the best. Covers the Phillies for the Inquirer. And it's been a rocky road so far to start the season for the Philadelphia Phillies, but they are now 3-3. So, Scott, overall picture of the Phillies, what have been some of your biggest takeaways of the Philadelphia Phillies, who have started the season now 3-3?
Hey guys, good morning. This is difficult. A difficult time of year for me. I struggle with this every year because, the season gets underway and the games are real and they count, and you want to extrapolate as much as you can from the first, week or even month, but certainly the first week of the season. And we all want to talk about what we think and what we know, and we still don't really know a whole lot because we don't have a lot to go on. So. I was talking to someone last night, someone I know, and he was asking me, what do you think of Harper? Are you worried about Trey Turner? Stuff like that. And, my answer was kind of like, no, like I'm not. Bryce Harper's 3 for 25, and I don't think it's that big of a deal. It's something. It's not much of a sample size. So, I don't know. The way I look at it, though, what I learned from the first week is that, I think certainly the first thing you learn is that Andrew Painter and Justin Crawford are major leaguers, and that they're comfortable here, and that they're not overmatched, and that they're going to contribute. How much will they contribute? We'll see. But they belong here, and they're on this team, and they're not going anywhere. So I think that's number one. I think number two, you look at it and you say, well, their starting pitching is good. We thought it was going to be good, and it's going to be good. It's going to be what carries them. Christopher Sanchez wasn't as sharp as usual yesterday, and yet he still gives them whatever it was, 5 1/3, and 1 run, and gives them a chance to win the game. Painter, certainly great debut, and that's promising. And I thought, I thought Aaron Nola and Jesus Luzardo have been better than they were in their first starts. But again, I thought that they, that there were things that they could take out of those that were positive. So I think that their pitching is their starting pitching is what will carry them. I have concerns about the offense in terms of, what will they do again? Are they susceptible to lefties? They faced, was it 4 lefty starters on the homestand? They lost 3 games against lefty starters, and they weren't all, Tarek Skubal. I mean, they lost to a journeyman lefty in the first game against the Nationals. They lost to a lefty who was replacing Jacob deGrom in the second game of the season. So I do worry about that, but it's also 6 games, and I was trying to figure this out. I think we'd still be in the second quarter of week 1 if this was the NFL. So there's just not a whole lot to pull out and say, I feel certain that I know this for sure.
Scott, you observe the players in their natural habitat, which is a lot of the things that us as fans don't get to see as much, and like a guy like me only gets to do occasionally. Do you believe Bryce Harper, from what you saw since he's arrived to what you see now, is the guy having fun? Is the guy enjoying himself with baseball the way he was maybe 3-4 years ago?
It's a really interesting question. I think so. I do. He still talks about wanting to play into his 40s. That's something he's still passionate about. I think if he wasn't having fun, given the career that he's had, he wouldn't be talking like that. He's not signed into his 40s. And to say I want to keep playing into my 40s means he wants years tacked on or another contract. So as long as he keeps talking like that, I'm going to assume that he's still enjoying it. He's still having fun. He does not smile as much as he used to, at least on the field. Off the field, I see it. I see it in the clubhouse. I see it in his interactions with his teammates. I think it's very similar to what it always has been since he got here. I mean, I can't speak to the Nationals years when he was a kid, but certainly I've covered his whole career here since he got here in 2019, and that hasn't really changed. I mean, things in his life have changed. He has 4 kids now. He had none when he signed here. He's very much in a different phase of his life now than he was then. I would assume, I have a 9-year-old. He has 4 kids. I would assume he's more tired now than he was before because he's got more things going on in his life. But no, I take him at his word when he says that he still enjoys this. And like I said, if he still wants to keep playing, he wouldn't talk about playing into his, and he's only 33. So he's talking about playing into his 40s. That means, 7+ more years. I don't think he'd be talking like that if he wasn't still enjoying it on some level.
Hey, Scott, I know it's a little out of sight, out of mind, but what's the next step for Zach Wheeler in his rehab assignment?
Yes, it's actually less out of sight than I thought it would be on April 2nd. I wasn't sure when spring training started that we'd be talking about him in minor league games yet. I was there in Lehigh on Saturday. I thought he looked really good. I said to someone, if you were here, if you were at that game, you didn't know his story. You didn't know that he'd had this major surgery. I'm not sure you would have known. I mean, it wasn't peak velocity Zach Wheeler, but it was still 93, 94. It was still a crazy good breaking ball. He threw everything, which was, 4 or 5 different pitches. So, I'm not sure you would have known. So he's going to pitch Friday in Durham. He actually is traveling to Durham to pitch for Lehigh Valley there. That's going to be about 5 innings, they say, 50 pitches, 55 pitches, thereabouts. And then he's going to pitch again next week. They haven't said which day yet, but if I'm guessing, it's going to be probably Thursday in Lehigh Valley at home for them, and then they'll reassess. So, I mean, that would be, 3 minor league starts. Still think he probably gets a 4th, maybe not. And, if he doesn't, next Thursday would be the 9th. That probably puts him back in the rotation, like in the middle of April. If he gets one more, it would be sort of that last week of April. So it's crazy because it's barely 6 months since he had the thoracic outlet surgery, and he's coming back. So, and they say they're not rushing this. He's hit all the checkpoints, and he's ahead of schedule. So I tend to think they'll give him a 4th because I do think they want to make sure, they want to triple check that he's ready. But it's going to be before May 1st. That's for sure.
Scott Lauber of the Inquirer joining us here on Kincade and Salciunas. Andrew Tacheko in studio with us today on this Thursday morning. Scott, this is more of a crystal ball question for you. A, does it happen? B, when, if it does, a swap of Bohm and Garcia in the order? Garcia goes up to 4, Bohm goes down to 6. And does Crawford ever find his way toward the top?
Yeah, on the first one, I'm actually writing something for tomorrow, in which I'm, part of which I'm talking about Adolis Garcia, who I think had a sneaky good homestand. We didn't talk much about it because he hit his first home run the night of Andrew Painter's debut, and so it kind of got swept under the rug. But it wasn't just the homer. He had a bunch of hits. He looks like he's. It's funny. He's not exactly chasing fewer pitches out of the zone. He still chases a lot of pitches, but I think he's making a little bit more contact than he normally than he has the last 2 years in Texas. So, yeah, I mean, Alec Bohm's 2 for 21. Garcia is swinging a good bat. I could see them flip flopping at some point, and maybe some point soon. One thing we've learned over the years about Rob Thompson is he likes to be consistent. He's not a lineup shuffler. Look, how long did it take him, right, to move Nick Castellanos down in the lineup over the years? So, and when he did, there was always that, he could work his way back up. So, I understand. Bohm had a good at-bat in the 10th inning yesterday to draw that walk. Or in the 9th inning to draw that walk. Look, it could happen. I could see it happening. Garcia's batted cleanup for majority of his career in Texas, so he's done it before. And I think you maybe try to capitalize a little bit while he's swinging the bat well before that goes away on some level. So, I could see that coming. Sure, I could definitely see that coming. And then the other thing, I don't think they're going to mess with Crawford right now. I really don't. I think they like him at the bottom of the lineup. I think they like what he does down there. He can create some havoc down there, and he gives them a different dimension. I was talking, went over to Kyle Schwarber's locker after the game yesterday, and I said, does Crawford, Crawford does some different things, right, from the rest of the guys in this lineup. And he said, there's no doubt, he profiles differently, right? He, not only is there the speed, which you have at the top with Trey Turner and then at the bottom with Crawford, but, he puts the bat on the ball and he does some things. You've got to respect, if you're the other team, you've got to respect that he might bunt, so you might have to bring your third baseman in. And if you do that, he can sort of cue it the other way. He can do some things. He can manipulate the bat in certain ways. You saw some of that over the weekend and during the week. So, look, he had a great first week. It's not going to be like this all the time. He's not going to get 7 hits every 5 games he plays. So there are going to be the inevitable adjustments that teams will make against him, and then he has to adjust back, and all of those things. I think he's really in a good spot right now where he is, batting ninth and kind of being sort of like a second leadoff guy, but at the bottom of the lineup.
Scott, we appreciate the time. We will continue to bug you throughout the course of this season. We are asking Phillies fans today if they can hit the reset button of their emotions, not expectations, but emotions, because I imagine you see it on social media too. 1-3, the season was over. They're back to 500, and they begin a series with the Rockies tomorrow. Thanks for the time, Scott.
Yeah, you bet. Anytime, guys.
There he is, Scott Lauber of the Inquirer. All right.
He's a very measured man.
He is.
Very measured man. I like it.
I'm looking forward to the Garcia-Bohm swap because I think it's good for Bohm.
And I did look when Scott just said that. He's played the majority of his games as a cleanup hitter. What are we doing here? Like, what are we doing? Like, why are we waiting?
Because they're comfortable with Bohm there.
Why? You have to explain to me why.
Dude, I can't. I've been streaming about it for 3 years.
Rob Thompson has to be able to explain himself because it makes no sense.
Garcia provides fear. Bohm does not. Fear provides protection for Harper.
It makes makes no sense. You have to be able to explain yourself. The guy has been a cleanup hitter the majority of his career.
Yeah, I can't speak to what the Phillies have done with Alec Bohm in past years because they've had a deficiency at right-handed power bat since the Nick Castellanos thing did not play out. But
and because Bohm didn't play out.
And
let's face it.
And he's not a power bat.
You projected a 6'5" right-handed hitter.
He's a slap hitter.
Yeah.
And you could say JT, too, with the offensive drop-off. He's going through, they've had right-handed issues.
Yeah, he batted cleanup in the World Series games, right? Wasn't he the 4-hole hitter?
In some of the playoff games, yes, he did.
JT was your cleanup hitter.
But for this year, like we're 6 games in.
But why are you starting with that?
Because you know that Alec Bohm can handle it, and Adolis Garcia is in a new spot.
But
and
you know that
it's the same reason you don't
handle it.
It's the same reason you don't move Crawford. You know that Adolis Garcia has done it before. He's had an offensive drop-off the past 2 years. You're trying to get the guy comfortable. He looks comfortable. And once you get that momentum building, that's when you move the spot.
Sorry, JT batted 3rd in the World Series. Your lineup, game 1. Schwarber, Hoskins, Realmuto, Harper, Castellanos, Bohm, Stott, Segura, Marsh. That was your 9 in the World Series. All right. I'm going to give a tougher trivia question here. We're giving away, we've given away 3, so we have 2 more. 5 4-packs of tickets to the Franklin Institute. And we're doing 5th grade science questions. What is the name of the powerhouse of the cell?
I know it.
Connor got it right away. My God. I did not remember this one.
I was wrong. I told Connor an answer. I'm wrong.
Connor's got his flashcards back
there. Connor got it right away.
Connor's bright as hell.
I did not remember this. I remember it now, but I did not. If somebody asked me that, I would have no idea.
That's like the one thing people remember. I think a lot of people are going to get this one.
All right, text it in, 610-632-0975. We have 2 more of these to give away, so one goes out now. The powerhouse of the cell, what is the name? 610-632-0975.
Off the air, I want to hear his guess because I bet his guess will be mine, and it was wrong.
How about that? Yeah.
I think DeCecco's pretty smart.
I think so.
Thanks. I like to think so, too.
By the way, NFL news, Kirk Cousins.
Raiders,
dude. So is that the bridge?
So he's going to be the teacher?
Or was he the backup?
No, he's the veteran teacher.
Yeah, but is he the bridge? Is Kirk Cousins signing to start, or is Kirk Cousins signing to be a backup? He did not like how it unfolded in Atlanta.
Well,
and he was the better quarterback in Atlanta.
Yeah, he was, but he's getting a little bit older, and sometimes your options aren't as great as what it once was. So I think he'll be the bridge guy.
Okay.
So you don't so he'll start a little bit and then they'll hand it over.
Early on, yeah, right. But then eventually he's going to have to give way to Mendoza.
Yeah, eventually. But I don't think he's going there to just be a backup.
Well, it all depends. If Mendoza takes to the position and to the coaching quicker than anticipated.
And they're both goofy. So they both sort of fit the mold. Yeah. I mean, he's a good guy to, because they're both goofy people. So it's a good fit. So I could see it happening.
How about that? All right, Andrew. I'm very excited for this next segment.
Deep cuts?
No, that's the end. That's the end of the show.
We
always go out with a bang.
I got a really good one. Yeah.
I'm going to have you play a game. So I have a list of names that could fall to the Eagles in the draft. I'll give you two names by position.
Sure.
And you have to pick which one is better for the Eagles and why.
Love it.
And I got a question about your mock 2 draft to your mock 1 draft.
Oh, mock 2
Great.
came out. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, it came out on last Monday.
Oh, I was paying attention.
I did the mock draft on Birds
You're
Digest.
already in Florida.
Yeah, I am. All right, we'll do that coming up next. It's Kincade Salciunas 97.5, The Fanatic. Oh, sorry about that, Connor. Let me tell you about that FanDuel Sportsbook app. You know I love it. It's been buzzing recently, especially with baseball. We got something every single night. Right now, new FanDuel customers can get up to $300 back in bonus bets every day for 10 days. So here's how it works. Place any bet with FanDuel in partnership with Valley Forge using your bet reset token. If it doesn't win, you'll get up to $300 back in bonus bets every single day for 10 straight days. You just got to sign up by going to FanDuel.com/local. That's FanDuel.com/local. And you can bet on any game, all right? This started off as an NCAA tournament sort of promotion. They liked it so much. A lot of the bettors on FanDuel liked it so much. They opened this up to continue for all sports. So obviously the college basketball tournament continues, but we have baseball, we have basketball, we have hockey, so much to choose from. FanDuel, whatever it is, play your game. You got to be 21 plus and present in Pennsylvania. Bonus bets are now drawable and expire 7 days at the receipt. Tokens are received in increments of 1 per day. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Phillies walk off Washington. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Phils finish off their homestand with a walk-off win over the Nats, 6-5, 10 innings yesterday it took. And the 9th inning rally was also important for them. It led to a 2-run RBI single for Edmundo Sosa, forcing extras. And then rookie Justin Crawford stepped to the plate in the 10th inning.
Hit sharply, base hit into right center field. The Phillies have come all the way back, and they have won it on the first career walk-off base hit for Justin Crawford.
That audio courtesy of NBC Sports Philadelphia. The Phils are off today. They've got a 3-game series in Colorado with the Rockies starting on Friday as they begin a West Coast road trip. The Sixers, they beat Washington as well. The Wizards, that is, 153-131 last night. Paul George, 39 points, the lead all scorers. They're now tied for the 6th seed with the Toronto Raptors, and they have the tiebreaker over Toronto. It's an off night tonight, then they host the Timberwolves tomorrow night on the first end of a back-to-back. Flyers host the Red Wings tonight at 7 p.m. You can hear that game live right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. A big game for them as they continue to try and push for the postseason. Andrew DeCecco stays with us for the remainder of the show in studio. This update is brought to you by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has led inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more at crohnscolitisfoundation.org. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
97.5, The Fanatic.
The final hour of Kincade Salciunas is presented to you by The Bagster. It's a dumpster in a bag. You can get yours today at Home Depot and Lowe's. You need details? Go to Bagster.com.
All right, it is 9:31 on this Thursday morning, which means Andrew DeCecco is in studio with us, talking some Eagles. Still have the Phillies and Sixers and Flyers. Any other Flyers texts about people going to the game? We've only had like 2 people. Flyers have a big game tonight against Detroit.
It's going to be huge.
2 points back of the final wild card spot. We need some other things to go our way. We asked one of our questions. If you're going, let us know. And do you have that the game day feel in your gut?
Well, you had it this morning, but it was something you ate yesterday.
Yeah, made a bad decision yesterday. We're going on vacation next week, so we didn't do the grocery run. So
they're cleaning out the house.
Whatever I find in the freezer. I ate these like meatballs that had frostbite all over them. And
I thought you were going to say bagel bites.
No, it was meatballs, but they had frostbite, and it was. As I was eating them, I was like, "This tastes horrific," and I just kept going.
Okay, that's where you say to yourself, "Are you a dog?"
I just kept going.
Like
you should have just.
I made it through the night, but there's a couple pit stops,
couple hurdles
before the show started.
Much like the Eagles' offense.
Any Flyers fans heading to the game that have like a playoff like game day vibe?
Oh, it's going to be fun tonight.
We haven't gotten any other check-ins on the Flyers.
No
doubt. Now
it's
I imagine
a big game.
It's huge tonight.
Yeah, I imagine people will be fired up. Post, I think we'll hear a lot more from people. I think there is a little bit of nervous energy after the loss too.
Yeah, but
I would imagine there is. I'd imagine because it was a big wasted opportunity.
Yeah,
that was
a lot of things went their way.
Huge missed opportunity. I mean, we come in, by the way, next Thursday while you are still, sunning yourself like Gabe Kapler. We will be working.
Coconut oil, baby.
So when Andrew's back with us next Thursday, every team in the playoff race that the Flyers are lumped with, every one of them will have 4 games left, and every one of them will be playing next Thursday night.
Dude.
I mean, I'm just looking at this. This thing has the chance, but you got to keep winning to make them relevant.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you have to.
So
you
take
can't
care
have
of
the
business
bad losses like you just had.
And as you're saying, tomorrow night you have your viewing party with the Sixers.
Yep.
And then a Sixers-Flyers doubleheader tomorrow night. Oh, my God.
Tomorrow could be a crazy day.
That'd be great.
By the way, congratulations to Allison from Warminster, our latest winner.
Hey,
We're doing
Allison.
5th grade science questions. The powerhouse of the cell. What is the name, Andrew? Do you have a guess?
Mitochondria.
That is correct.
And
it's on
by
the
the way, that
screen
was
right
his
in
guess.
front of you.
But that
I
was
said
his
that.
guess.
Man, John said that.
All
Yeah.
right, good
I
work by
said
you.
nucleus and was wrong. Connor got it right.
Mitochondria is correct. All right, so we have one more to give away. 5th grade science questions. What is the process in which a caterpillar turns into a butterfly? 610-632-0975. What is the process?
Yeah, I know that. I know
Connor got it right. In which a caterpillar turns into a butterfly. All right, Andrew, I'm very excited for this. Came up with an idea. I wanted to do something a little bit different here. So instead of asking you about new names in the draft, we'll do your DeCecco deep cuts in the next segment. I have 2 names by position, and you tell us. Eagles, that guy. That guy's the better of the option. All right? So let's start with offensive tackle. I have Blake Miller, or you're going to have to help me here. Max, what the hell's his last name?
I am not sure. Yeah.
Yes.
I am not sure how to pronounce it. Or
Yes. Blake Miller or that guy?
I would say Blake Miller. Blake Miller was my first-round pick for the Eagles in my DeCecco mock draft 2.0. I think he fits the profile in terms of athleticism, which I think the Eagles might covet with this new scheme, especially when it comes to run designs.
And that was where one of the most interesting parts of your second of the last weekend's Eagles Digest on the radio was the evolution from your first mock draft. You changed it.
Yes.
And you went into a very good explanation of saying why you made that change. And I was wondering further in that conversation, who do you think's going to – no, we have no more Jeff Stoutland. So who do you think's the biggest voice in the room when you're drafting offensive linemen? Are they going to let Cooper have a real big voice?
Cooper and Sean Mannion.
So you think they're going to have the biggest voices? They'll have the biggest voices with it?
Yeah, I would think so in terms of what they're looking for from a tools perspective, what they think would best fit what they're looking to accomplish offensively. I do believe that Sean Madden obviously is going to be involved, but Chris Cooper being the offensive line coach, knowing what best works for his coaching style and that offense, I think they're both going to be involved.
All right, Blake
That's a
Miller,
lot of clout for them.
Blake Miller or Caden Proctor?
Yeah, this is where I had the flip-flop in my 1.0 and 2.0. I went with Blake Miller, and that's kind of the way that I'm leaning. Now, Caleb Proctor would probably fit better with Jeff Stoutland here because 6'7", 366 pounds.
Sure.
To be clear, I think he would work in most offensive systems, but you do wonder about how he would handle space and being able to be that fluid mover that I believe that they're going to need.
All right, then let's go from tackles to wide receivers.
Yes.
We have talked about a lot of these players. I'm just curious where you would lean. KC Concepcion, who we talked about last week, the great Reds infielder, or Omar Cooper Jr.
This is a great one.
I see. I love this.
This is an awesome one. I would say Omar Cooper Jr., although I do really like KC Concepcion fast, but his hands are inconsistent. He also could help as a returner if need be. But I like the fit for Omar Cooper Jr. in being a 3-level threat. He's really effective after the catch. He can kind of function as a manufactured touch player, which the Eagles are sorely lacking. And so that's why I would go with Omar Cooper Jr.
Where do you have to pick Cooper? Where do you have to pick him? Where are those guys being picked off the shelf?
Yeah. I have Cooper Jr. Rated ever so slightly above KC Concepcion, so they would likely have to take him at 23 if they wanted him.
Now, I am not going to ever question his eyes because this man, I trust his opinion. I've flipped in the last week to Concepcion.
He has a lot of drops.
Dude,
you've been all Omar Cooper.
I know.
Jr.
No, but I love them both. So I don't if they get either one of them, I am thrilled. But I'm telling you, I've really.
Oh, yeah, he's explosive.
Oh, my gosh, he's explosive.
He's explosive, and that would help manufacture some of those explosive plays that the Eagles were sorely missing last season.
And they covet those. All right, so you went with Omar Cooper Jr. Can you tell us, I would imagine you still go with Omar Cooper Jr. because this guy's mock drafts, both first and second round. Denzel Boston, wide receiver out of Washington. Can you just tell us a little bit about him?
Yeah, he's a bigger-bodied, physical guy, not necessarily as twitchy or explosive as the other two players that we just discussed. He's a little bit of a polarizing prospect, but I think that he's ready to help an NFL offense early on in his career. I tend to skew more towards the optimistic side. I like him as a prospect.
Sure.
However, I don't know that I like him more than Omar Cooper Jr. or KC Concepcion.
All right, fair. And now, lastly, edge rushers. Because the Eagles are the Eagles. We could all think tight end, tackle, wide receiver. The Eagles are the Eagles. There's two edge rushers that I saw. I looked at 5 different mock drafts where these guys are in that range of pick 23. Zion Young or Keldrick Falk?
Oh, this is an easy one. I would say Keldrick Falk. So Zion Young is a little bit of he has a bigger frame for the position, so I'm not necessarily sure how he would fit in a Vic Fangio defense where you have to be able to play in space and be a little bit more athletic, whereas Keldrick Falk is 6'6", 250-ish pounds. He's still really young. I think he may have just turned 21 years old. A lot of room to grow, and that is, if you're looking for an edge rusher in a sweet spot at 23, it would be Keldrick Falk out of Auburn. I think that his ability to, he has an athletic profile, and he can really rush the passer well. I think he's still developing in terms of having a pass rush plan and building a repertoire, if you will, of moves. But I think he can also be someone that could drop into coverage and play in space, which, as we know, Eagles edge rushers are asked to do.
You know how Howie will tell you that guys have first-round grades? Like how many guys have first-round grades on their board? Do you do that? Do you say
I do it a little bit closer to the draft after I do my final evaluation? How many true first rounders are there?
Are you believing you're going to get to 20? Just
18, 20.
Okay. So that's pretty normal?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, some you might be pushing it a little bit, pushing the envelope,
right.
But when you're talking about true first round picks. I mean, they're very rarely do you get all 32.
Okay, yeah, exactly.
All right, what do we have on the Davis Honda text line? Feel the Davis difference. Check them out in Burlington. What do we got?
So we have a bunch of people still checking in on this conversation about Jaylen Hurts and what the concerns are for him heading into this season. Greg from Bethlehem says, it seems to me that the idea that Jaylen Hurts had difficulty throwing over the middle might have some legs now that we hear this commentary about what he doesn't want to do.
Yeah, I mean, look, we've talked about this before, right? So when that story comes out, there's interesting nuggets to it, but like the whole Jaylen doesn't like doing certain things, that wasn't totally new.
No, we've heard it before, but the thing is, why are you hearing it about a guy who's 7 years in his pro career? 7 years?
Right. But, I mean, these are all things that have been pointed out throughout the last couple of seasons, but the difference is that last season everybody blamed Nick Sirianni and Kevin Patullo for the reasons why there weren't middle-of-the-field throws or things like that. You're getting a little bit more of a clearer picture as to other things that were at play, and he's going to have to look in this offense. It's all about timing. The ball's got to come out, and you have to be able to throw within rhythm. And I think that's something that A.J. Brown he prioritizes that, being able to catch the ball where you're not having to grind it out and take the hit. You can run after the catch.
Yeah.
Not waiting for him to streak wide open and really trying to fit the ball in there and allow him to operate in the short to intermediate levels.
All right, coming up next. One of my favorite times of the week, DeCecco Deep Cuts. All right, Andrew DeCecco, who studies this draft not just for round 1 and round 2, right? Yeah, that might be the sex appeal. But Andrew DeCecco likes to have the nice meal afterward, you know.
I got a good one for you guys.
Uh-oh, here we go.
DeCecco Deep Cuts. Who are these guys in the drafts that we'll find out about on day 3, rounds 4, 5, 6, 7? Andrew DeCecco knows all about it. We get that next. Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Keep it locked into 97.5 The Fanatic all day. Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
All right, it's 9:47 here on Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. All right, real quick before we get our DeCecco deep cut, and you got to tell us who our final winner was. All right, we did all 5, right? I'm not making that up. I think we have 5 winners today. If not, we save one for tomorrow.
Yes, we're good.
By the way, a couple things. Sorry, Connor. Before Connor shoots me down here, I got to let you know about the Fanatic Parlay Cash.
Uh-oh.
Your chance to win $1,000. Starts next week. Starts on Monday. Fanatic Parlay Cash, your shot to win $1,000 5 times a day, Johnny, starting Monday, April 6th.
So we're giving away cash.
Yes, you are. You will give away a keyword at 8 a.m. Then Johnny Marks will announce it at the beginning of his show at 10. He also has a chance at noon, also 3 and 5. So what's morning, guys?
So John Marks gives it away twice.
And so does Unfiltered. We give it away once. You know,
dude,
we only have $1,000 a day for you. The other shows have $2,000.
That's unbelievable
for you.
Well, they get an extra help.
So check it out, Fanatic Parlay Cash. That begins on Monday. You'll have the 25 minutes after the hour to enter it, and there's so many ways to win, like entering it on the contest page or via the Fanatic app, and all that fun stuff.
Is the last science question, Connor? Can we give the answer?
Yes, okay. Kelly from Philly won it. The question was, what is the process in which caterpillars turn to butterflies?
Okay, is the thing that they're in a chrysalis?
Yeah,
I remember that.
Cocoon.
And it is a metamorphosis?
That is correct.
Right.
Good job.
Way to go, John.
Well,
I knew you had it in you, pal.
Yeah, but I got like 2 right.
All right. Connor got all 5 right immediately.
Oh, no, Connor gets them all right.
You can give me 1,000 of these in a row. I wouldn't miss.
I was very impressed, Connor. Very impressed.
Connor's so stoic back there.
Connor wants to be on Jeopardy.
I qualified in college for the college tournament.
Oh, that's cool.
Was it Division 3 though?
No, it was not.
No, it was real. Quick question for you guys before we get our DeCecco deep cut. So I'm locked in, as you guys can imagine, a big Harry Potter fan that I am. I can't wait for the series to start. It starts. They're doing all 8 books as a television series now instead of just the movies.
Yeah, I'll make sure I TiVo that.
Yeah, Christmas Day will be the Christmas Day is the first one. You want to come over? We'll watch together.
My daughter will have, whenever it premieres, she will have the plan to watch.
I can't wait. But they're dropping a documentary in 3 days. They just announced
about what?
On the making of
elves.
How can you drop a documentary on the making of something that hasn't aired yet?
Because they're showing you the behind the scenes of how stuff's made. So how do they? Because those aren't really elves.
Okay, forget the Harry Potter. Anything. Wouldn't you drop the documentary of the making of after the product is released?
No, you're trying to.
One would think, yes.
That's what I thought.
See, I think you're trying to drum up interest.
You're trying to guard against spoiler alerts, I imagine. The
books are out.
Oh, yeah. Well,
somebody's got a magic wand.
Well, then what are you watching for? You already know what happens.
Well, I'm not.
It's like the John F. Kennedy Jr. Miniseries. I know the ending. I'm like why? Like, I mean,
but you don't know who did it.
Well, then I can understand even more why they're doing the documentary because you already know what's going to happen. There's no surprises.
You got to do the doc afterward. You can't do the doc before. All right, Andrew.
The magic wands aren't real.
This is
episode 2.
This is the real magic. DeCecco deep cuts. Andrew DeCecco gives us a name to keep an eye on for the later rounds in the NFL draft. This is where Andrew DeCecco is at. My happiness of Harry Potter is Andrew DeCecco's happiness of day 3 draft.
Day 3,
picks.
he loves day 3.
What do we got?
I got some good stuff for you guys. Southeastern Louisiana defensive lineman Caleb Proctor, 6'2", 290 pounds, 9 sacks last season. He's a little undersized, but he's super athletic. I think he's more of a 4th-round guy. He's starting to get a little bit of buzz. You're hearing his name pop up a little bit more. To my understanding, at this point, the Eagles haven't expressed any interest, but he's a player that I think would be a really good fit for what it's worth. And then another position.
And wait, hold on. Where was the school?
Southeastern Louisiana.
By the way, no notes. Just for you YouTubers, you can watch. No notes.
And
He's
then
just talking.
Yeah. By the way, another position that's kind of sneaky to keep an eye on. I'm not saying that they would draft this position, but if these players go undrafted, is long snapper. Let's not forget that Charlie Hewlett was the Eagles' long snapper last season, signed a 1-year deal. He was on the practice squad, and he wasn't retained, so his contract expired. So the Eagles currently don't have a long snapper. But what I can tell you is there's 3 long snappers, and Tyler Duzansky from Penn State, who's going to be at the Eagles' local day, is my understanding. Garrison Grimes out of BYU. He's probably the best long snapper in college football, arguably. He was a Patrick Manley Award finalist in 2025. The Eagles have shown a lot of interest in him. And Spencer Triplett, the Eagles had a special teams assistant on hand at UNC's Pro Day, and they've shown interest in him as well.
All right, what about this Jaffer Murphy guy? Kicker from, he's a road runner.
Yeah, well, I did a lot of, I did
University of Texas San Antonio. Did you see this kid?
Yeah.
Well, I saw him in the one game at Temple.
70-yard, he can make a 70-yard field goal, and he runs a 4.5 40. Tell us.
Yeah, well, my understanding is that there were people on hand, teams on hand, that wanted and put him through defensive back drills.
Really?
Because he's so athletic. He didn't kick, I don't think he kicked any field goals or extra points last season at UTSA. They had a veteran kicker because I was curious if he's able to kick a 70-yarder, why was he not involved? Then it was sort of conveyed to me that, well, they deferred to a veteran kicker. Teams are looking at him as an athlete, and he has a soccer background. He played soccer at 2 previous universities, and those universities are escaping me right now. But when you have a pro day like that, obviously that's going to conjure a lot of questions, and so I did some digging around and asked.
His story's amazing.
Folks.
He was born in Liberia, moved to the States in 2006, and he was adopted. Played soccer, basketball, football in high school. Played soccer at Drake.
That's what it was.
And
Drake. Florida
Gulf Coast. Then he decided, I want to try football. Made the team Division II Erie College.
Well, so Bill Belichick in UNC, he got cut from UNC, and then he goes to UTSA. So he's well-traveled.
Oh, my gosh.
He's trying to make it, and I love it. You respect the hustle, you respect the grind. It is an amazing.
There is
story.
a TikTok of him kicking. So someone may have seen the TikTok of him kicking. So you can.
Yeah,
he's got quite the
and
leg.
He's an athletic freak. Could you use one roster spot, defensive back / kicker?
Well, we could use a kicker, but they're not going to do it.
Eagles could use a defensive back too.
As an undrafted free agent, bring him in.
Yeah, he's the next Reed Blankenship and the next Jake Elliott.
We got Travis Hunter.
Let's not get
exactly. It's our own Travis Hunter.
Yeah, let's not get too carried away.
By the way, sniff that one out a mile away. We never talked about this. It was like a month ago that they announced they were going to focus on just one position for Travis Hunter. Defense.
Yes.
Sniff that a mile away.
Well, they had to.
They should never. The trade that they made, Jacksonville, to go up and get him, and I think a lot of it was the idea that he could do all these things. Not that he can't play wide receiver. It's just the dude's a rookie.
Well, he's
Focus
still going
on
that doesn't mean he's not going to line up a wide receiver, though. It's just that they're not going to focus on him as a wide receiver.
I kind of evaluated him, and I was split going into that draft. I viewed him more as a defensive back.
I just wondered.
I thought his skills were really translatable there, and that would be a primary focus.
Trade the haul that you traded away to go get him for a guy that you're still not entirely sure what side?
If you view him as a shutdown corner, which is a premium position in today's NFL, yeah, I think you do. Depends on how bullish you are on the player.
Well, we're bullish on you. And your
insight. He'll be in Monday and Thursday next week, Andrew DeCecco.
Yes,
that's right.
I'll be. I'm going to Harry Potter thon or whatever.
Yeah, have fun.
Yeah.
Have fun down there.
Don't forget your wand.
Yeah, I'll bring my
your
wand. Everybody have a great rest of your day. We got Middays with Marks coming your way next with Ray Dunn as well. Andrew, thank you as always. We'll talk to you tomorrow on a Friday here on